Welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the stream. How are you all doing this evening? I hope we're having a better evening than we had yesterday. Let me sort this out. How you doing, guys? Give me a second. I did not set up my mic and camera right. Big up CFC Stephen. Welcome to the stream. Gomino, welcome. Hello, Habibi. We've talked before, I'm guessing, probably on the Arabic channel. Luke, how you doing? Andon, how you doing? Big up to all of you. Shawmark 56, still mad about last night? Yes. Still mad. But listen, we have had 22 hours to reflect upon the performance, the result, and I want to discuss it today. One of the reasons why I didn't want to stream straight after the game was because we didn't want to have a reactionary stream. We didn't want to have a reactionary stream, and I wanted to give it a little bit more thought, a little bit more care when it comes to addressing the result. We will bounce back, think positively. We can only improve from that performance, surely. Yeah, I guess. But why was the performance so bad? That's what I want to address. Big up to MDT. We'll be joining shortly, inshallah. I'll be waiting for you, Habibi. I will be waiting for you. Thanks for the donation. Always appreciated. I'm still really upset. With last night's performance. Yeah. It's not gonna go away. That result is not gonna go away until we turn it around, until we can improve on the errors that caused us to lose that game. We are not gonna be able to turn that page easily. Q&A TV, big up to you. Link is in your DM box, Kasim. Lukaku, a flat track bully. Nah. Listen. I know it's going to be hard for us to stay away from agendas. I know it's going to be hard for us to stay away from disliking certain players, certain performances. I ask everyone today to be as subjective, to be as realistic in their assessment as possible. End of the day, we are all Chelsea fans. We are not Mason Mount fans. We are not Hakim Ziyech fans. We are not Havertz, Lukaku, XYZ player fans. We are Chelsea FC fans. And that's what we've got to be talking about. And that's what we've got to be addressing. Why did we underperform yesterday? That's the main thing. We've got Kasim jumping in. Kasim, how are you? How you doing?
How we doing, Mo? You all right?
You're upside down, man. You're breaking my
neck. I'm trying to sort things out. How are you, Mo? You okay?
How are you? I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. Luke is saying, I think we really lack movement up front. Ziyech, who I had high hopes for this year, doesn't seem anything like his Ajax self. Havertz, barely noticeable, and Lukaku constantly wants the ball to feet. Yeah, good points there, Luke. We'll be talking about these, but you're making some good points there. Abdul Bassett, I guess. Abdul Bassett. Yeah, big up to you. Leonard, big up to you. Big up. No creativity. We'll talk about that. And Pulisic, the man who's going to be talking about Pulisic is jumping on right now. Bobby Smoke Signals. How you doing, my man?
Hey, hello guys. Mo, as always, a pleasure. Thank you for having me on your stream. Kasim, we meet again.
Hi, Bobby. All right?
I hear you're very active on this. Yeah, it's good. I'm beginning to be converted on your number 10 theory, by the way. I don't think it sounds so crazy. I know you come under a lot of attack for that, but you keep it going. You're making some sense.
Yeah, I'm
Do,
not
do,
gonna
you,
lie,
do you want
Bobby.
me to get to the
Last
point?
night I was very disappointed. I couldn't. I was very angry all night. Not angry in a way. We lost, and the manner we lost. I was very upset.
Well, look, first of all, before I talk about Pulisic or anything to do with the game, I have to say one thing. And sometimes you've got to recognize the obvious. And, this is sport. We can't sort of lie to ourselves.
Yeah,
I congratulate Juve. I think they tactically did extremely well. They forced us to play to their strengths, which, if you remember in previous streams, I was saying, look, after watching them against Sampdoria, I saw that their strength is counter-attacking football
yeah,
and low block defense.
yeah.
They've got the players to do that. I mean, Chiellini and Bonucci are absolute masters. And that's why we should never, ever, ever let somebody like Rudiger go. Defenders are like wine, just like goalkeepers, they get better with age. And those two are just masters of their craft. So, I think there are very few people in world football that would have been, very few teams in world football that would have been able to break them down when they decided to defend like that.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, yet again, how much we love Federico Chiesa. The guy, as far as I'm concerned, he is there. He's the next thing now. Forget your Ronaldos and that. Chiesa is it. The guy is wow.
Very direct. Yeah.
I just love the guy. I yet again point to the fact that, hero worshipping people and that, you see where you get unstuck, because this guy could have been at Chelsea. He had the opportunity to come here at a time where our lady friend was the sole operator there and was falling out with managers like Antonio Conte because she was overriding their decisions. And I know Sari wanted Chiesa and she didn't want him. And look now, we've got a world beater and we missed out on it. Well, potentially, I think it'd be very difficult for us to get him in the summer. But coming to the game,
Bobby,
Pulisic.
Bobby, slow down. You're taking it. You're taking it
He's
all
on
in one
fire.
go.
Listen, bro,
Take
he's
it-
on fire.
Take a deep breath, relax, chill out. Let me get the plugs out of the way. Let me get the administration stuff out of the way. We're jumping into this. We're getting into all of this.
You're
I
cheering
haven't
me up,
even answered
Bobby. You
your
did.
question on Pulisic yet.
Exactly,
guys,
exactly.
I love my football. I love my football. I'm here. This is my thing. As I said in Jem's channel, this is my guilty pleasure. I come here and I do this, and I love this. I love talking about my team. I love talking to you guys.
We love hearing you talk about
Yeah,
football. We love
he's a
hearing you
top
talk
man,
about
Bobby.
Chelsea.
Absolutely.
Because
It's a privilege.
you've been a lot. You've been a lot to the. You've been a lot of value to the stream. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad
Absolutely.
to have you on the stream.
But all this chatter is just my passion,
that-
Mo. It's just my passion.
Hey, listen. All of us here have this passion. All of us here, are really emotional right now. And I'm glad I'm doing this 24 hours later. Because if I had done this yesterday, I mean, if I show people some of the DMs that I was sending out and I was receiving, Blue Lounge would be a different type of channel right now. But
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is. Listen, big up to everyone, and especially Couch Critic. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, my man?
You're right, Couch.
I've been better. It's my birthday, but
Oh yeah, happy
happy
birthday,
birthday, man.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
walked away with a win.
A fellow Libra,
Tomorrow, you have to
Libra.
enter tomorrow, Couch. You have to enter
Jem,
tomorrow.
Jem, and Couch are 3 Libras, so we give you a balanced perspective here.
Yeah, I mean, tough game, but what are you gonna do? It was just we kind of
It's,
came into it thinking that we could just like play our normal style and just roll them over because they haven't really been in good form, but it just was nothing close to that, really.
Yeah.
'Cause we're out of
We made mistakes. We made mistakes, and we're gonna get into them. We're gonna get into all the mistakes. We're gonna get into all the errors. We're gonna get into the bad performances, good performances. We are gonna be here a little bit longer than usual because there's a lot to talk about, and this is why I brought the stream an hour early rather than streaming at 8. I streamed at 7 because I wanna give it enough time. I wanna give this a full evening, a full night of discussion. So people, grab a snack, grab a drink. We're going to be here for a while. A lot of messages for Couch. You know, he deserves it, man. He happy birthday.
Happy
What are you,
birthday,
17
Couch.
now? 17, 18, Couch? How old are you?
Oh, I just turned 19, so
19. All right.
You're a young man, man. You're a young man.
Are you allowed to drink? Are you allowed to
it's a
drink
bit of a thing, but
in Canada right now? Listen, people. Couch Critic has hit a milestone in his life, but so has the Blue Lounge. Last night, we hit over 1 million views on this channel. All right, this channel has been viewed by 1,009,000. We've had 1,009,000 views on the Blue Lounge. Previously, Baggy TV. We've only been active we'll be active for 2 years next January. Next January, the Blue Lounge would be 2 years old. So right now we're still one and a bunch of months. So we've hit 1 million views already on this channel, and I am so happy, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So the Blue Lounge is officially a millionaire. We've hit 1 million views on the Blue Lounge. I would have liked to have hit 8,000 subscribers. We're still not there yet. We're close. We're like under 50 subscribers to hitting that milestone. But lads, you can't imagine how it feels. I mean, there's a couple of YouTubers here. Couch Critic and Kasim are both YouTubers, and they can understand how big it is to hit a milestone like that. So for me, I am so proud and I'm so thankful to all of you guys for being here and being part of this.
You deserve it, mate. You deserve it. I believe good guys deserve good things, you know. You or, people I think is good. Couch, very, very polite lad. Bobby with his lovely tongue. He's got a very good attitude, polite, the way he addressed things. So your channel is great, and you got a great people in your channel, so you deserve it, mate.
Thank you. No, definitely. The people are the reason why the Blue Lounge is so successful. I see Mikhail in the chat. Mikhail, you've got the link. If you got time, jump on me.
Nice.
Listen, people. Let's get into the game. Now, there's a few things. We discussed the formation before the game. We discussed our predictions before the game. The game was played. The game ended. Chelsea losing 1-0 to a fantastic goal. It was a fantastic goal by Chiesa. A great ball through, played to him by Bernardeschi within 12 seconds of the start of the second half. In my opinion, Mendy had no chance to save that. His positioning was right. But I think the team was asleep. Excuse me. I had people saying that Chelsea were on the pitch, but their minds were still in the dressing room. And I agree with that, because we were not awake to counter that attack and to stop that attack. Juventus played a fantastically well-organized game. Allegri, big up to you, because you did what you had to do. The game was dominated by us. Chelsea dominated that game in respect to possession. However, chance creation, creativity, Chelsea was lacking on so many different levels. We had the ball, but we couldn't do anything with it. People are talking about this player, that player, this formation, that formation. Possible. But that being said, the manager is the person who picks the formation and the players and the system. Therefore, the players on that pitch are supposed to carry out his instructions. There has been a lot of talk since the game. There has been talk by a previous Chelsea manager, somebody who I have a lot of respect for, Conte. Conte addressed the fact that he believes Lukaku could be utilized better, and maybe he also alluded to the fact that maybe Tuchel doesn't know how to use Lukaku in the way that he can be the most productive, because Lukaku being utilized properly would make Chelsea serious contenders in every competition they're playing in. And we know Conte knows what he's talking about when it comes to Lukaku, because he is the one that turned Lukaku around when he was underperforming at Manchester United. He went to Inter Milan. Conte changed Lukaku and made him a lean, mean goal-scoring machine, because that's what he was in Inter Milan. And that's why Chelsea paid the money that they paid for Lukaku. So Conte knows what he's talking about. Is he right to have said that? Different discussion. But that's what he did say. Tuchel, after the game, said many things. One of the most notable things for me as a Chelsea fan was the lack of understanding that Tuchel seemed to allude to when it comes to why they are performing so badly. He said that he has identified certain issues, but why is Chelsea not performing to the standard that we are used to seeing them perform to under Tuchel? He is a little bit concerned. He is a little bit unaware to the exact ins and outs to what there is. That concerns me. When I see my manager not confident and not, I'm not going to say knowledgeable, I'm going to say is unwise to exactly why we are underperforming, it concerns me. Players on that pitch yesterday, I know people are going to be talking about this player and that player, but I'm going to talk generally. Players on that pitch yesterday all seem to be lost, unmotivated. They seemed to be unimpressed to the fact that they are in the Champions League playing against one of the best teams in Europe, historically speaking. You're playing in Turin against Juventus with a team that consists of a lot of the players that had just won the European Championship. You should be up for this game. Unfortunately, the team, in my opinion, wasn't up for that game. Why was that? What do we need to do to address these issues, and why are these issues existing now? These are the points, these are the issues that I want to be looking at in today's debate. I want to welcome to the panel Mohammed. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing fine, everyone. How are you guys doing today?
Well, good. We're doing okay. We have Boogeyman also joining us. Boogeyman, how you doing, my man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How is you guys doing?
We're doing good. Listen, we are going to jump into this debate. Once we hit, let's set a milestone. We're on 30 likes. Lads, once we hit 100 likes, and I know we will hit 100 likes because we're going to be here for a long evening. We're going to be here for a good couple of hours. Once we hit 100 likes, I will open the stream to you guys in the chat, and you can jump on and give me your thoughts about the game and discuss it with us live on air. So let's hit that 100 like milestone, and I will open the stream to everyone. Boogeyman, Mohammed, did you guys catch my my opening statement?
No, really.
Yeah.
I'll just go home.
All right, Boogeyman.
Yeah, I was listening.
Big up to you, Mo. Boogeyman, in a nutshell, I believe that there were issues in respect to Chelsea's performance that came from lack of motivation, lack of desire to be on that pace, desire to win that game. I believe there was issues relating to Tuchel's selection and the way that he approached the game tactically. I think he was outsmarted tactically by Allegri. And I think on the day, Chelsea did have a large chunk of control when it came to possession, but were lacking creativity-wise. And Juventus were able to to use that to their advantage. That is it in a nutshell. I'm going to start by posing the question to Couch Critic first. We'll get Couch Critic to get the ball rolling. I know we normally start with Boogeyman and Bobby. I want to go with Couch Critic today. Couch. First question to you is: do you agree with my assessment that the players were not motivated enough yesterday?
Yes and no. I kind of believe that what we saw yesterday was a tempo issue. Like, we just didn't play at the right tempo. I'm sure I mentioned that probably a couple times already, but I just feel like the last few games, Chelsea just haven't come out playing at the right tempo. And, if you're thinking about where the blame lies, it has to start with our midfield right now. Like, because, in particular, as much as I hate to admit it, Jorginho is just not coming into the game and setting a tempo that's high enough for us to really hurt teams. We're playing at this really lethargic pace, and for whatever reason, we haven't been able to get the motivation to get the team playing at a higher pace, playing in the right areas at the right pace. Because truly, when we see Juventus right now, they played a low block. How do you beat a low block? You need tempo. You need to move the ball quickly, and you have to shift the defense. And we haven't been able to do that. A lot of what we saw yesterday was a slow, lethargic buildup, no runs off the ball, and nobody trying to make that incisive pass into those areas that can really hurt teams. So ultimately, I just think that Chelsea need to up their tempo. And if that means resting Jorginho because he's jaded and not really playing at the tempo that we need him to play at, then you got to do that. I'm also of the belief, and this may be controversial at this point in time, but I don't necessarily think that Jorginho is the best player to have on the pitch when we're trying to break down low block teams. I think that he's a good controller. He's a guy that gets us playing football. But I don't know if we're looking for goals and we're looking for tempo and pace in that final third, that incisive pass, that he's the guy that I want on the pitch. I said something weird and controversial in an earlier stream. I think that our sixes in that position probably should be, just based on what I've seen so far, is Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Mount. Play those two guys there, because I think that they give us a little bit more drive and they look to make that incisive pass forward. But I mean, it's hard to say. We haven't seen them in those roles in so long. But
Couch.
Do you think that's a possibility?
I understand that, but so what I'm getting from what you're saying here is that Tuchel didn't get his tactics right when it came to this game.
Partly, yeah, I would say so. But again, how do you legislate for tempo? We're talking about this team coming out and playing a lethargic start. It's been happening for 3 or 4 games. 5 changes
were made. And those 5 changes were made, but did you see any actual change in respect to the tempo of the game, to the way we played? I mean, we created 1 or 2 more chances, Barkley and whatnot, but Tuchel didn't change the shape. Tuchel didn't change the setup, and we have enough players. We have enough substitutions to change the entire shape and the entire system, because you can change 5, and he did. But even those changes that he made didn't seem potent enough for me.
You look at that 3-4-3. I don't think we have the right personnel on the pitch to really impact the game. Because truly, we played with 5 defenders and 2 holding midfielders who are basically defensive midfielders. We didn't play with any attackers. And when you're playing on a low block team and you have Azpilicueta out wide, and then you have Alonso, who's pretty good in the box but really didn't look to get in there. You're playing a very defensive setup against a team that is also playing very defensive. So where are you getting the offensive thrust from? It just didn't feel like we played the game. We didn't recognize what the game was asking for until it was too late.
All right. I'm gonna go to Bobby. Bobby, we had an attacking setup.
Yeah. Are you there?
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys
One
hear
is
me?
out.
We can now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
I
me?
think you
I'm
froze
having
for a
some
second.
connection issues.
We
Yeah.
can hear you now.
We
Okay.
all right. Cool. We had an offensive lineup in regards to who was on that pitch. Alonso. I mean, you could argue that Azpilicueta isn't an offensive player, but we didn't seem to be able to create anything. I mean, Hakim Ziyech is a creative player, and he's in the team for his creative attributes. He didn't do any creation in that game. I mean, a lot of people said the wizard is working on his disappearing trick or his vanishing act because he was not there. Okay, I'm a big fan of the player, but I'm a bigger fan of my club. And Hakim Ziyech, unfortunately, yesterday didn't do nothing to impress me. Kai Havertz, the same. Kai Havertz had moments towards the end of the game, and I think maybe he started to play better when Hakim Ziyech was off that pitch for some reason. I think Barkley and Ruben were able to provide him with a little bit more.
Should have scored though.
Sorry?
He should have scored ahead of them.
Yeah. Well, Lukaku should have scored as well. I mean, there was problems, but you see, I don't think the buck stops with the player. I think the buck stops with the manager. Now, I don't. You see, there's a lot of people who are being reactionary. There's a lot of people saying Tuchel out, Tuchel this. No. I am nowhere near that. I am nowhere near that. But what I am saying is this: Tuchel has made errors, and we. I mean, I know the guys here on the panel. We're not experts, but the guys here on this panel have been saying over the past 6-7 games. We have been saying there are issues that if we don't address, and I think Boogeyman or Bobby might have said this. You know, these issues, if we don't address them now, they're going to hurt us in the future. And this is the future where we are now. Okay, this is the result of those issues that we were seeing in Aston Villa, in the Crystal Palace game, even in the Tottenham game. Yes,
even Liverpool game, Mo.
Even Liverpool game.
I criticized Liverpool and people were not happy.
If I can respond.
Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead. I get carried away, sorry, mate.
Yeah, it's just the passion, like me earlier,
It is.
I hear you, I hear a lot of what's been said. I kind of am leaning more towards what Couch said. I don't believe for 1 minute the players were not motivated for that game. I don't believe it at all. I think what has happened is, and I do believe Tuchel made some errors, but goodness me, Pep Guardiola, all the best, even Allegra himself has made mistakes and dropped the ball for many a game. I think Allegra taught Tuchel a lesson yesterday. This was, the best coaches can get the best out of all their players, even if they're average. And this exposed the inabilities of a number of our Chelsea players. This tempo you were looking for, often that's brought to us by the likes of Kante, Mount, even Reece James, for all it's worth. They are the high tempo people. And of course, Pulisic, who I said I'll talk about later. But none of them were on the pitch. And so the deficiencies of the players that were on the pitch were shown, inability to take long-range shots and so on from the midfielders. I think Tuchel's mistake is that he has to understand now, people are going to be that little bit more determined in and around playing him. So he has to do different things. And I feel when he brought on the likes of Loftus-Cheek, Barkley especially had a very good
had a good ball.
appearance.
Very good ball.
I said earlier, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to confuse them because he's going to be everything that they haven't planned for. And it kind of showed. Even Callum Hudson-Odoi did well. And with Chalobah in midfield as well, that threw the spanner in the works for them. What a manager like Jose Mourinho was very, very good at doing when he faced tactics like Allegra's tactics was he would just kill the game. man, the fans will want to jump off the bridge and top themselves, because what Mourinho would have done, and I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form, I want him back or he's better than Tuchel or anything, but what he would have done was just sat back. You want to defend, we'll defend. We'll have a boring game. You want us to come for you, we want you to come for us. And it'll be a face-off. And that's what Tuchel should have done, because we didn't need to win yesterday. A draw would have been quite okay. But going all out to win with deficient players that are incapable of playing offensively was our undoing. And I think Allegri knew that. And his counter-attack, you're right. There was nothing in the goal that certainly the goalkeeper had to blame. I think perhaps Thiago, maybe, if we want to split hairs, he could have done better. But the whole back line was sleeping. They were caught napping. And Juve were looking for that. So this is another bad day at the office. I personally think we're going to get over this. You're going to have a bad patch in order for you to learn and be stronger. And that's just how I'm looking at this. And I'm hoping against Southampton that we see a bit more of the likes of Barkley and of Ruben, because those are players that the opposition haven't prepared for. And it's a different conundrum for them. And it's going to be an answer for us going forward as we get through this patch.
All right. Bobby, I'm gonna take the same question I put to you. I'm gonna put a little bit of a spin on it. I'm gonna address it to Boogeyman. You see, Boogeyman, I said to Bobby, and I said this to Couch as well. Were the players not motivated enough? Were the players not what's the word here? Not impressed enough with regards to the occasion that they're in. They were not appreciating the status, the importance of the evening, the game. The players went on that pitch, and in my opinion, looked like it was just another day. Another day at the office. Now, what I'm trying to say is this. They did not have the focus. They did not have the concentration that we are used to seeing from our boys and that we saw from our boys under Tuchel last season. And this was shown after the first 12 seconds of the second half. It was also shown when Christensen was turned around a couple of times in defence, when Kovačić misjudged a few passes and lost the ball in a very, very crucial position, and he didn't even recover or react quick enough. By the time he reacted, Chiesa was already past him, like 10 steps behind him. So this is why I believe that the players were not focused enough, were not there. They were there in body, but they were not there in spirit. And I want to see your opinion on this, Boogeyman. What do you think?
Thanks, man. When it comes to the motivation, I think they all have the motivation, because you just have to see the amount of runs Kovačić and all those people that were doing.
Sorry. I'm getting some feedback. Can you guys mute yourselves, please? Go ahead, Boogeyman.
I don't think I have anything open.
No, you're good, Boogeyman.
From me?
No,
okay,
it's not from you. No, it's gone.
Yeah, when it comes to motivation, I think they're all motivated. I don't see any lack of motivation yesterday, to be honest with you. And I heard people say players stop listening to Tuchel. No, I don't think so. I think I just think for some reason yesterday we were unlucky also, because I'm a fan of a beautiful game, and we take the possession, we move the ball around. It's just the fact that we're not willing to take any extra risk. Like, we just keep moving the ball. Kovačić errors. It's just the fact that you keep moving the ball, keep passing the ball. I don't think it is really lack of concentration, but it's more like you're trying to anticipate the movement of your partner. That's what he think that who was that? I can't remember who was that. that person will come back instead of make sure the ball is going through. He's just kind of anticipating the person movement, which the person didn't react to it. So that's why you see those ball going just empty, and then it become dangerous for us to defend. But again, for me, I think we were unlucky, and I think Tuchel just play in the hand of Allegri. That's all it was, because they play 5 defender. As much as we say Juventus are 11th in this league, the Italians have created that Cacinato system that they've been playing for generation now. When they put themselves in that mind, there's nothing that go past them.
They haven't had a clean sheet in 28 games, I think, and they did it against Chelsea.
Yeah,
they conceded 4 goals in the past 2.
Yeah, but don't forget, when they play in the Italian league, they think about they think of themselves as how do you say this, as a big team. But then when they go outside, they feel like, what's up? Why can I hear you for some reason?
He said the aggressor.
Sorry. The aggressor, sorry.
Oh, the aggressor, or they like how do you say the person that
favorites.
The favorite.
They think about themselves as a favorite, so they have to go out and attack. Then you can see those small problems in their defense. But against Chelsea, they know that if they open themselves, they'll have a problem. So they went back to their old way of playing. Even Allegri have won a lot of cup for Juventus, playing exactly this way. So he's not going to do too much. He just want them to defend and hit us on the counter. The problem with us is, for me, Coach says something like, we didn't raise the tempo. The tempo was raised. Like, it's just, there's no answer in front. Like, you cannot move the ball fast if people in front are not moving. What you move it to who? You move it back. That's why every time you see Kovačić running with the ball, go all the way to around the surface, Kovačić never shoot as a problem. So Kovačić will just turn with the ball again and go past again, because all Lukaku, all those who are static, they're hiding.
All of that is tempo for me, though. Everything you just said is tempo for me.
The problem is that you can only raise the tempo if you have solution on the field. That's how you, Jorginho, if you give Jorginho a chance to pass you the ball in a second, he will pass it. Sometimes Jorginho complains, Lukaku, move. You can see on the field. Even Havertz.
Yeah, but his instincts aren't to pass it forward all the time. We don't see that enough, right? But
it's because there is no opening.
His instincts is just keep it ticking over, like pass. But like, he's not looking to make that incisive pass.
Incisive pass to who?
Lukaku?
Exactly.
Havertz?
Where was Lukaku?
Ziyech?
Where was Ziyech?
There were instances where Lukaku tried to get in behind and there was nobody playing the ball to him.
Who's that?
There was instances in that match.
Who's that? Who was trying to play behind?
Lukaku.
No, listen. Look, just recheck the game precisely. All the runs of Lukaku, there's always someone between Kovačić or Jorginho and whatever Lukaku's trying to do. Just check it.
Boogeyman, you're right. Yeah, they lined up.
There's no way, but the ball will go to. The problem with Lukaku is, yesterday, I'm not going to go around that. If we were to have Hurricane, we won that game because he will drag them out. And then you can have those people trying to score goals. I just don't. Lukaku is way too static. Lukaku need to know sometime, just move out, drag people out, come out, and all. He's not doing it. And he complains all the time. I don't want to say Lukaku is the reason we lose, but Tuchel should have noticed those problems and at least adapt to it and change tactics. Or like someone
what's the solution though?
Why can I hear?
What's the solution?
For some reason, people talking. I can't hear anything.
Hold on. Let Boogeyman finish his statement. I'm going to give Boogeyman, then I go to Mohammed, then I go to Kasim, and then I'll open the debate to everyone. So I want to hear initial thoughts first. Boogeyman, carry on, my man.
So for me, listen, the system is there. The system is working. The problem now is Tuchel need to create. How do you say this? Tuchel need to allow the bench to come into this game. So our core, those 11 starters, can feel a little the heat behind them. So if they don't perform good, there's a good player off the bench that can come and replace them. Tuchel need to start taking those risks. Mourinho will do something like that. Ruben will start games. And the other thing is, Kovacic is tired. You can see it. He keeps running. At one point, he will stop in the middle of the game and hold both his legs, trying to give him massage to the leg. The guy is tired. He be running too much. Because Jorginho is ambitious. Jorginho has a little bit of knock. Bobby has said many weeks ago or many days ago.
He's tired as well.
So you can see it. Tuchel need to start putting the Ruben in, even dragging. How do you call it? I'm going to be a little Barkley in more often and just flood them in, because the kid at Chelsea. I mean Barkley, no, but Loftus-Cheek is Chelsea blood. The guy will do everything on that field to make sure Chelsea win. Just put it in.
Man, I'm going to interject. Boogeyman, I'm going to interject. Listen, in respect to Barkley, Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Chalobah, Ben Chilwell, the people who he brought in, every single player that he brought in as a substitute, for me, it was a statement. It was a statement. Do you know what he was saying? He was saying, look, to the players on the pitch. He was saying, you are the ones we paid millions for, and you're embarrassing me right now. This is the Chelsea second string. These are the guys who are warming the bench. These are the guys who we tried to get out alone, but we couldn't. Let me bring them on, and let me show you. Hold on, and let me show you the passion that they have, if they have passion. And do you know what? I saw more from those guys than the guys that were on that pitch. Ross Barkley, a player who everyone has been trolling. When I mention Ross Barkley on any stream, people start to laugh.
Oh,
rightly so. Ross Barkley has had a very bumpy ride. We talked about his discipline. We've talked about his issues off the pitch. But there's no doubt that he has talent when it comes to playing football. Is he able to change it, switch it, to make it work? Because we know some of the best footballers in the English league had a lot of problems off the pitch. I'll name two legends. Best and Gaza. Gaza's still around, but George Best died early because of his, drinking habits and whatnot. I hope Gaza has a long and prosperous life, but these people have had it bad.
Habits or no?
He's got his madness when it comes to. But I loved him. I loved him on the pitch.
Yeah,
when Gaza was on that pitch, you were glued to your TV screen. You wanted to see what he was going to do next. All right, and now this talent I'm talking about, Barkley has some of that. Is he going to turn it around? Is he going to make it? I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is this. This is what I was saying in regards to motivation, in regards to wanting to be on that pitch. Tuchel brought these guys on that pitch because he thought these guys are going to show some motivation. They're going to show some heart, some desire, some push to try to get this game won. While the guys that were on that pitch were not able to do that.
Yeah,
I'm going to come, Boogeyman, I'm going to come back to you. I want to give Mohammed and I want to give Kasim a chance to give me their opening statements. Then we're going to open this discussion to everyone. This is a discussion that is going to take a good couple of hours, and that's why I started early, because I want to give it time. People in the chat, I will give you an opportunity also to come on and talk to us. Make sure we get to 100 likes, and I will give you a 15 to 20 minute segment on the stream where you're able to come on and tell us what you think. So start hitting that like button, start hitting that subscribe button, where we were just a few subscribers away from 8K. So keep doing what you're doing. Mohammed, give me your thoughts in a nutshell to why we performed the way we did yesterday. Let me know. Let me hear
it. To be honest, from my point of view, because I've watched the game 3 times, believe it or not, already.
Wow. Okay.
And I've watched clips and stuff like that through it, dissecting it. One thing I noticed, I think all of you have a point, though. To be honest, everybody here have a point. But if you go back and watch the game, you will see the difference between before the substitution and after the substitution. You will see. You know what? I wasn't a big fan of Ross Barkley. But Ross Barkley in that position is better than is better than Kai and Ziyech. He's a threat. When Ross Barkley come on the pitch, do you know what happened? The two Juventus holding midfielder, they move close to him. You see that pass he gave to Lukaku? He dribbled between them and passed it to Lukaku. He break the wall. Okay, just one time. In 10 minutes, he did a pass. Kai couldn't do, Ziyech couldn't do. And also, I've sent you some image I took from all the well. If you go on your Twitter, you will see it on your messages, DM. Sorry, you will see the position of our two tens in the first half. What they were doing, they were clogging. That's why our midfield, whether it's Jorginho or Cover, they cannot get the ball to them because they were hiding behind the Juventus players instead of taking the open space. And when you look at the last image, that was when we had our substitution. You check where Ruben is.
Ruben,
because of Ruben.
Hold on, Mo.
That first image was exactly what I was talking about. Look at the Lukaku's positioning there, and Jorginho's on the ball. You can't spread it through there.
I'm getting some feedback. I can't hear you guys. Can't hear you guys. Hold on.
Can you hear me more?
One second. I can hear you, Kasim. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, I can hear you perfectly well.
All right, I'm hearing a thumping noise. Can you
guys hear
I am as well.
All right.
I think it's from Mo.
No. Mo, can you hear me? Yeah, Mo, you're having issues. Mo, you're having audio issues. Mo, please jump out and jump back in again because we can't hear you. Mohammed, we can't hear you. Your voice is cutting out. So jump out and jump back in again. You're frozen now, Mo. You're frozen. All right, we'll come back to Mo. Kasim, give me your thoughts, mate.
Oh, mate, I don't know what to say, mate. It was a combination of the manager and the players. I think Boogeyman had a fantastic point. I thought Mo as well. And Crouch in a way. It's not just the term, but I think to be fair to our players, the way Juventus set, right? 2 back 4, and just to stop that supply going to Lukaku because they know he hold and turn. And the only way they slipped when Ross Parker gave that ball to him. But I think in a big scale, Mo, we've got a big issue, mate. And the problem is we're addressing the issue now. What happened last night? That I saw this from a game 1. I thought Tuchel got a problem. We'll start with Liverpool game. I don't know if he's trying to please some players. He didn't get Werner at the type of game we played against Liverpool. Finished at the start. We end up losing man down. We end up drawing the game. We could have won it. And after the Aston Villa home, we struggled first half. Man City game, we lost. Zanet. So I don't know. We've not been playing well more. That didn't happen last night. But last night, man, Juventus team is nothing special. What they did is, I said, all right, we're going to sit there and we've got the 3 men in the front. They quick. We're going to hit them in a counter-attack. And you saw last night, Kovačić lost the ball twice. They should have scored twice first half. I don't know. I don't know if the personnel we've got not good enough for the system he's imposing. I'm not sure. I know for a fact one thing, and I was banking about it over and over again. We don't have world-class number 10. I don't care what anyone's saying. Kai Havertz is not number 10. Kai Havertz is false 9.
I disagree. I think we have got some very good number 10s. I think they are not being utilised properly.
Who's number 10? Who's good number 10?
Havertz, Ziyech, Pulisic. Those guys are very... Werner.
Werner's a number 10. With the exception of Pulisic is good and direct. He's not available. Who we've got now, good number 10?
What you mean, not injured?
No, but I cannot include Pulisic because he's always injured, isn't it?
He's part of the team. Well, we can say we don't have a good DM. Because Kante's injured right now. He's got COVID.
I'm talking about the current time, Mo. Pulisic is injured, isn't it? I will have him over anyone for number 10 because he's quick and direct and he takes player on.
So we do have a good number 10 in our squad. He's just not available right now. Correct?
Yeah.
Is Timo Werner? Is Timo Werner doing a job as a number 10?
No, Timo Werner is never number 10.
You have always advocated for. Sorry, say that again.
Timo Werner is never number 10.
But you think he should be a number 10, right?
No, I never thought Timo Werner should be number 10.
Every pre-match preview we do, you want to see Timo Werner on the page.
On the left-hand side. Yeah, left-hand side doesn't mean number 10. It's just counter-attack as a runner.
Shadow striker.
Yeah.
Listen. We are talking about the formation. We are talking about the players who play in those positions. Now, the players that are playing behind the strikers, they are playing as inverted forwards right now with our formation. You could call them a 10, you could call them a winger. All right, you can bring in a 10 to play in that position, or you can play a winger in that position, because we've seen Pulisic, Callum, these are wingers. Ziyech, these are wingers. They'll be playing in that position. You've seen Mason Mount. Mason Mount is not a winger, but he's played in that position. Kai Havertz, again, not a winger, playing in that position. The issue is, what is that position? What is the best way to utilize that position? Is it as a winger, as a 10? We're going to have to address that in the stream. Kasim, we'll talk about that. Thank you for your input. Eric Blue, how you doing? You're on mute, Eric. Eric, we can't hear you. Eric, fix your mic. We'll come back to you. I'm going to go back to Mohammed. Mohammed, you were having some audio issues. I'm going to bring up the slides again. Yeah, I'm going to bring up the slides again. Yeah, we can.
Can you hear me?
Eric, stand by. We'll come back to you. I'm trying to communicate with Mohammed, so stand by, Eric. Mohammed, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. You see, even yesterday, Rio Ferdinand was analyzing it, and also I watched the Italian football show on Sky Italia. Antonio Conte was analyzing it, and Capello as well analyzed it. The same thing they're saying is Lukaku, his position is nothing wrong with it. He could move to the left, that's fine. But the position, they are worried that the players, you see the last image, look, you see where Callum is? That's where always one of the players should be. You see, he's on his own.
Yep.
And then you see Ruben has dragged this other defensive midfielder. You see, when Barkley beat those two, he passed directly to Lukaku. What Kai Havertz should have done is go behind Alexandro. If Lukaku don't score, he can easily see Kai to tap in. So this is the movement. The 10s are not moving. But the second half, those Coban boys come on and they show the expensive signings how to do it. Let's be honest. It's nothing to do with whatever. This is just, we have players that love the ball. They don't like to move without the ball. That's Kai and Ziyech. Like I said, the way they play, nothing wrong with it. But in this Chelsea system, that's not the way they play. They love the ball. They always come to the ball. If you check the other first two images, you will see Kai is going towards the ball whilst the space is behind him. Why is he going towards the ball? That is cogging the lane for Jorginho and cover. Look, why is Kai coming towards the ball?
Mo,
Yes.
I know this is a still, but who played that ball? Who's playing that ball there?
No, it's Jorginho. Jorginho was trying to play Lukaku, but Kai is between them. So if Kai move, you know what happened? That defender there that's blocking Lukaku will move with Kai. Kai just move.
That ball actually reached Lukaku in the next picture.
No. What I mean, he didn't because what ended up happening? Jorginho gave it to Kai. Kai should have been running towards the box. That will drag the defender. They should be going backwards towards the goal, but they always come inwards to the ball, inwards. So what does that happen is our midfielders, like whether it's Jorginho, whether it's Cover, they have to do extraordinary things to get the ball to the forwards. So our inverted forwards are coming towards the ball. They're coming towards the ball. You should spin. When you spin, the defender, they will follow you. If you check that's what Chiesa keeps doing to us. He keeps spinning. Christensen was shitting himself. Sorry. Christensen was scared of the pace of Chiesa. So that's what you do. You come in and then you spin. They don't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you, but what you just said, I don't think it is Kai's problem. That is Tuchel.
Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. It's not Kai's fault. Kai doesn't play like that. That's not his way of playing. Ziyech is not his way of playing. So I'm not blaming the players. I'm just telling you that's why the system is struggling. We have players that can play like that, but the fans don't want them. If we put those players in this system, they will do better than the superstars. Sometimes you play the player because of the system. You don't play the name.
I think I point those things. If I'm not,
I agree with you. That's what I'm saying.
If I'm not bigging myself up too much,
they should stop playing this name. The name players are the problem because that's not.
Guys, hold on. Let me get Eric's remarks on the game, and then we'll open it to everyone. Before I get to Eric, there's a question here about the link. The link will be posted as soon as we hit 100 likes on the stream. We are currently sitting on 60. 40 more likes, the link will be posted, and then we will be giving you 20 minutes to come on and give us your feedback. So get hitting them likes, and let's get to 100. Eric Blue, give me your thoughts, mate. Welcome to the stream, and give me your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. It was probably a good thing that you didn't have the stream as soon as the game ended, or a few minutes after. But it was better than the game against Man City, but still not good enough. One shot on target in 2 games. It's not good enough. But
sorry, I need to say something to you, Eric. I apologize because last match I corrected you and I said we had a couple of shots. You said it was 0. I said no, we had a couple. I was wrong. So my bad on that.
Yeah, I was just going off what Google was showing me. So yeah. Sometimes Google doesn't always, the stats aren't always the same. Google says something and then another website says something else, but it was the same with the shots on target. The performances will improve eventually. I'm sure about that. It's difficult to say why things aren't going the way they should go right now, but players are not in form. There are many reasons why it isn't what it should be. We just have to be sad. Look, the way I'm looking at it, I don't even want to be too we just need to focus on the next match. Just win the next game, try and build some momentum, and then hopefully the performances will improve from there. Because there's no point, over analyzing this player, that player, people think that we should sell half the squad, things like this. There's no need to, do things like that. So we have to just take it steady, go into the next match. I mean, I think the game against Juve, the build-up wasn't too... Obviously, Juve wasn't really pressing us, but we played better in the first, 15 minutes for me. I think we were better than against Man City. It wasn't too bad. So I think there were some good things from the way we were moving the ball. We just, the obvious things. We can't break teams down. So we'll have to see how we play against Southampton. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I concur. Southampton game is going to be a massive one for us now because of the 2 results we've just had. A lot will be riding on that in respect to reputation, in respect to player performances, and how we are going to value them. I'm going to bring in Jem, and once Jem finishes his statement, the stream will be open for discussion for everyone. So whatever Jem concludes on, you guys can pick up the discussion from there. Jem, big up to you. Welcome to the stream.
Thanks for having me as always. Hope you're all well, guys.
We're good.
Took a little bit of recovery for me. I mean, I was a little bit frustrated yesterday. I'm not going to lie. I'm still a little bit frustrated earlier today. You probably saw me on stream, but it didn't surprise me. If you remember yesterday, Mo, I came on here and I heard a lot of people saying 3-0, 4-0, and I said to you guys, we should be reserved. If we do not play our game, if we do not, if we lack complacency, lack concentration, they can hurt us. And everyone was saying, well, where are they going to score from? Later. There you go. You know what I mean? And just be serious. When you look at the game overall, even with Lukaku's chance in front of goal, we didn't really deserve anything out of it. I was sitting there. I didn't want us to score because we just didn't deserve it. We didn't, based on the way we were playing. Juventus played well. They defended well, but they didn't have to defend amazing. We made it easy for them. As we made it easy for them to score that goal. It was just all our own doing a lot of the times, lack of concentration. And, you know, we can sit here and talk about players. We're going to continuously do that. Agendas come out, didn't they? And they want to talk about Ziyech and what, you know, Mason Mount not being in the team is why we lost. And, you know, why is Kovačić doing that, or Jorginho, and why is Alonso playing? And yeah, they're all relevant things, don't get me wrong. But the thing that worries me the most, and I continue saying it, is the system that Tuchel has implemented. They seem to not be able to grasp and understand how to be offensively moving forward. And there was so many times in the game for me, especially in the second half, where Kovačić and Jorginho had the ball and they could have just played the ball quicker directly, you know, that sort of killer ball directly to the players for them to turn around and look up and maybe play Lukaku in or someone. And they decided to do the sideways, backwards, siders role. Like it's like they don't want to take the risk in case it goes wrong. And that's why I like Mason Mount, because at least Mason Mount's direct. He'll get the ball and all right, he might give the ball away because it doesn't reach A to B, but at least you can see what he's trying to do. Do you know what I mean? I don't like all this safe, we'll do 1-2 passes. We were getting outside the Juventus box, and instead of shooting, we're trying to do this intricate passing, trying to get it, you know, trying to score that amazing goal when all we sometimes need to do is just hit the blooming ball. And, you know, Jorginho and Kovačić were both doing that. You know, they let us down massively for me in that game, because even though the front three weren't, you know, Lukaku wasn't getting enough of the ball, Ziyech and Havertz were quite ineffective. A lot of the times when they did run into pockets between the midfield and the defence, they wasn't being given the ball quick enough. It was just everything's too slow with us. Everything's so it's so obvious. I know what we're going to do 3 passes before we do it. That's how stupid it is. Like, I can sit there and I know specifically that he's going to pass that ball there, and then that ball's going to go there. And it's just, when you're defending that, it's easy because you're not moving them left to right. You're not, you know, you haven't got anyone that's dribbling, which is why we probably miss Pulisic, because he's one of the only players that does that. You know, we haven't got anyone like, you know, opening spaces or doing anything. It's just easy. That's what I'm saying. That game yesterday was just easy for them. Do you know what I mean?
Were we lacking motivation in that game, the players?
I think it was everything. I think we lacked motivation. We lacked leadership, which was weird because we had Thiago Silva and Aspi on the pitch, and I still felt like, yeah, Lukaku as well. Do you know what I mean? I just don't feel that leadership. Like, come on, let's go. You know, like when John Terry used to be on the pitch and we were struggling, you'd see him, he'd do one crazy tackle, but it was a strong tackle, and then he'll get everyone going, and everyone would run around like mad chickens, wouldn't they, trying to get the ball back. And I don't feel that with us. I feel like when we go behind 1-0, it's like we're cruising. It's like, yeah, we'll just cruise along, and if we open them up with that key pass, then we'll score. But if not, you know, we'll just keep doing our own thing. That's what I feel when I watch Chelsea play. So yeah, the lack of ideas. That is exactly it. We lack ideas from a creative element because we haven't got anyone creative. We rely on our wing backs to be creative, but we forget that it's Alonso and Aspi. We're asking Alonso and Aspi to be creative. That doesn't make any sense. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not working. You know, I questioned the system today. I'm not saying that the system hasn't worked for us, because it has worked for us for a while.
This season it hasn't worked. This season the system has been lacking, and we saw that even in the games that we did win. Yeah. But I mean, what does Tuchel need to do to address that? And this is the question for everyone on the panel. What does Tuchel need to do now to address this this run of bad performances? Yes, we've already lost 2, but the bad performances have been with us pretty much from the start of the season. So how do we address that, lads? How does Tuchel address that?
We have fresh legs. Tuchel needs to start playing the fresh legs. For me, it's simple. That's how I see it. When Tuchel came to Chelsea, he brought back all the people that Lampard was dumping. Those people were fresh. They come in and they were experienced. They took over the entire team, and with the fact that their self-esteem was hit by Lampard, they just want to prove something. So they take the team, and slowly we get all the youngest back in, and we end up winning the Champions League. Tuchel needs just to bring the fresh legs in, and they're sitting on the bench. They're there. Just use them. Give them a chance and trust them. And I'm pretty sure slowly we'll bring back the Alonso, the Kai Havertz, the Ziyech. They will enter it. again, because right now the core that help us win the Champions League, they operate, the 60% are injured or not at 100%. So that's and Tuchel keep talking about, oh, we're not physical enough, we're too slow. They're tired.
Boogeyman,
Why don't you get it?
One of the reasons that he gave us for not playing Ben Chilwell was his mental state. He wasn't mentally ready. Well, you know what? I think Ben Chilwell showed that he is motivated and is mentally ready for big games, while as Marcus Alonso wasn't. Why?
No, we all know.
No. What I'm trying to say is this: I'm starting to question the assessment of my gaffer. I'm starting to question the assessment because when he says to me, "I don't know, why we did this," then who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I just think Tuchel also likes certain player and he kind of not liking others. But I mean, the case is always with Timo Werner playing too much game last season, and we all like, okay, why Timo Werner is playing pretty much all the game when Tammy is there? Tammy is not given too much chance. What's going on with Tammy and Tuchel and all those things? Then we say, Tammy refused to sign a new contract. But Tuchel come out and say, no, it's not. It was never about the contract. It's just I feel like Anyways, my point is this: it's normal that a coach have affinity with players and don't trust too much this player, but I like them. I don't mind it, but we all know for sure she will have more defensive. Is better than Alonso in some ways, and but why Chilwell was not playing, I don't know. I heard about that mental stuff. That if I comment on it right now, people will say like, "Oh, you don't respect mentally ill people," because I just don't know what does that even mean to me. That Chilwell, who has all the support that he needed, and pretty much is
but Boogie, that's a sensitive topic, and I'll say this: mental illness. Like you say that he should just get over the fact that he didn't play in the Euros. Like this guy's a top competitor. These are the things that motivate players and whatnot, get them going. They want to know that they're playing at the highest level at all times. They don't get to that level just by saying, well, I'm just going to accept the fact that I'm not playing. You don't get to that level with that mentality. You have to actually I want to play these big moments. I want to play in these big games. I want this. That's how you get to that level. It's not always about the talent. It's about the mentality too. And when you're not getting those minutes, when you're not getting that, like
so you're saying
the Euros, it's very difficult. He's gotten this whole career.
Okay, I don't really follow. I don't understand your logic. So are you saying Chilwell is not mentally strong, or you're saying it's normal that he put himself in that state?
Well, I'm not gonna question his mental toughness because I don't know him personally, but I'm gonna say that those types of athletes that get to the level that Ben Chilwell's at, want to be playing all the time, and when they're not, it's frustrating and maybe demotivating. It can be debilitating. That could be the source of his mental illness. That could be the source of it. Okay, it's not as simple as just saying, "Well,
I won't make it a long debate." And I mean, I respect your point of when it comes to mental illness and stuff. I won't make a long debate, but I think pretty much 90% of all the professional players have deception. They want to play, they don't get selected, but they come back, they just play. There's nothing about, okay, now I'm feeling down. I don't understand that. For me, I don't
assume that everyone has that same mentality, though, right? Like you can't assume that everyone's once you get to that level.
That's the game. That's what it is. You get selected or you're not.
All right, listen.
I mean, you can't coax a lamb to behave as a lion, right? Everyone has a completely different temperament.
Can I say something?
Sorry, Coach. I'll bring you in more. Just one second. When you are doing something, for example, when I'm swimming and I drown, or I have a bad experience when I'm swimming, do you know what I'll do? I'll jump right back in the water. If I fall off my bike and I hurt my leg, I'll scrape myself and I'll get back on that bike and I'll start riding it again. All right. What is the matter with Ben Chilwell? Ben Chilwell is a football player. Ben Chilwell had a little bit of a of a misfortune that he wasn't selected to play or to start for England in the Euros. The guy is a professional football player. And the guy has been about for a couple of years. He's not one of them, players in their debut season. This guy is a proper professional footballer. Now, the fact that he wasn't selected, he came back, maybe he was a little bit unhappy, a little bit upset. But if Tuchel wants to get him back, give him a couple of games. Start him against Juventus when you know you're going to be facing some pacey attackers. Start him against Juventus. Give him an opportunity
I'm not
to
going to
play.
argue that. I agree with you that there's opportunities that he probably could have played and probably given us more. But let's not also ignore the fact that Alonso was playing very good football for us right up until maybe the last couple of games. He was playing very good. So it's not like you can't take away the fact that you have to continue going with the hot hand.
Couch,
I agree with you now, though. Like it's beyond that now.
Yeah, Couch. I agree with you.
But the question
rotation is key. Rotation is key.
Alonso until Alonso is injured.
Yeah, rotation is key.
Until he's out of
Rotation
form.
is key. Listen. I want to hear from more. He's out of form. He's out of form. I want to hear from more. More. Let me hear your thoughts more.
Yeah, I mean, with the Chilwell thing, to be honest with you, because for me, it's a sensitive matter because personally, I've never experienced it, but I know a friend that was promising Chelsea wanted to sign him. A lot of people wanted to sign him, and he had a setback, and it affected him. I couldn't understand because I had a setback. It didn't affect me. For me, I see it like, you move on, you jump. For some people,
people are different.
Yeah, so people are different. So sometimes that's why, till today, he's my best friend. I can't understand it. Well, guess what? I just accept it. So people are different. So that's why, like example, you will say what Ruben Loftus-Cheek went through and Callum, because they have the wall. The wall was their oyster. Everybody won them, and all of a sudden they had an injury that's career ending. I think if you check their situation, what they're going through till today, trying to build their career 2 years later, is worse than Chilwell. But I understand people are different. Look at Mount. Mount, one bad game, the whole universe is falling apart. Okay, but people are different. People are different. Some people handle it. Yeah, Barkley. Look at Ross Barkley.
Was in the
Look at even
England team. He was at
Look
one
at
point in England
Drinkwater.
team.
No, not exactly. Look at Drinkwater. Drinkwater had a cap for England, but look at him right now. People are different. Some people handle it okay. Some people struggle. So so for me, I just hope that he got all the support he needs, and also I think by playing him, it helps him. But by sitting him out, it make it worse. That's what I believe. If Tuchel keep bringing him giving him every 30 minutes or one game at a time, he will slowly get there. But by sitting him, say, I will sit you until you are ready, he will never be ready. Let's be honest. He will never be ready. It's up to the manager to do the right thing. If a player is having issue, what you do, you give them the confidence and play them bit by bit. That's how they build it up. So for me personally, it's hard to speak because I know that he's a good player. Even if he's struggling, the best place for him is on the pitch, not in training. It's on the pitch.
I'm not willing to. I'm just going to finish off by saying really quickly. I won't keep it too long, but I ain't willing to give up on these players yet. As much as we moan about the way they're playing, they're out of form, out of favour, not working. I get that. We played up against the Man City team which we forget actually has been. He's had the same squad for the last 3 years. They've played with each other for the last 3 years. They know each other's in and out, barring Grealish. And it was clear and evident to see it. And we've beaten them 3 times last season with a squad, half of the squad, who had only just gelled for their first season. So we have to bear in mind that when it comes to chemistry, maybe we just do need to give them a bit of time. I'm not saying it may work if we do that, but it's the only real thing I can think that we can possibly do to give these boys at least this season to show us what they can do. And they've got to figure it out and work it out together. Like I said, I'm not here to give up on them yet, as much as I don't like Ziyech at the moment and whatever. They have to find a way to work, So yeah, I think we just need to try and be patient with it all, to be honest.
Yeah.
I agree with Jim. I agree 100% with him. what can we do at this point?
Yeah.
It's not like we can do so much. Our hands are tied.
Yeah,
We love the kids. We know there is a potential.
Boogeyman, I just want to say this. I mean, one of the reasons why I didn't stream, you're not, because I didn't want it to be a reactionary stream. But I've been listening to people talking for the past day. I saw Gems streaming, and people, if you don't know about GNA TV, you need to be checking out GNA TV. They do a lunchtime stream whenever there is a game, whenever there is important breaking news, and they have really good debates on there. So make sure you guys are subscribed to GNA TV. I saw the stream today, and the stream today, there was a lot of reactionary talk from a lot of the fan base. I know Jem was trying to keep it real and trying to bring people back to the path, if I can put it away. It's hard because people are all this player and that player, and there is something that we all need to understand. The players are part of the team. They are not the team. Mason Mount is not Chelsea. Mason Mount is part of Chelsea. Okay, Hakim Ziyech is not Chelsea. Mendy, not Chelsea. They are all components that make up the team. And the team is part and a component of the club. Okay, we support the team. We don't support players. And we can criticize players. But we need to be fair. We need to be fair when we are criticizing. Because I, for one, follow certain players because these players are superstars, and people follow their stories and where they came from, and some relate to players for whatever reason. So you can like a player, that's fine. You can have admiration for a particular player, that is fine, not a problem. But when we come to address it, when we come to criticize, be reasonable and be realistic. And don't criticize the player because you don't like his hairstyle, or you don't like the way he talks, or the way that he acts. Don't like the way he performed on that pitch, and I'll respect you. Don't like him because he, dresses in a particular way. I have no respect for you. You have to be realistic, and you have to be a Chelsea fan rather than a player fan. So this is why this debate, this discussion right now, you haven't really heard anybody point out a particular player, because we are trying to discuss why the team failed, why the team needs to improve. What can Tuchel do to move this team forward? So don't be reactionary. 2 losses back to back is painful. It hurts. I'm gutted. But at the same time, what have we even played 10 games this season yet? Yeah, still early doors, lads. It's still early doors.
13 points as well in 6 games.
Yeah,
Top of the league. Top of the
just
league.
say something more? Before I come into your show about 6:30, I made a video on my channel and I said, obviously I've been disappointed with lost 2 games, and I said it's one thing makes me happy. We had these 2 losses against Juventus and Man City early. I mean, in the league, we still have 13 point. Level point was obviously Man City. I mean, they got good goal difference, obviously. And Juventus, I believe the way I saw them last night, I don't think we can still finish top of the group. If we beat them home, and we'll beat this, the small team with the goal difference. So I said, in a way, it makes me happy. We had these 2 losses a bit early, because if we start losing in this manner, November, December time, that's why I start getting concerned, because that's where the time when the league won or lose, I think around that Christmas time, November time, So in a way, I'm still pleased. We're just here, guys, as an old Chelsea fan, and we just wanted the best for our club. I'm not criticizing anyone in personal. From obviously, as I said to you guys, from my background, I see player and I judge them in the way I played football, not just from the way as a YouTuber or whatever it is. When I saw Ziyech, I don't think he's good enough to play for Chelsea. But I'm not going to take a personal thing. But as I said, I'm quite pleased. I had these 2 losses before October, so in a way, it's good. I hope it's a wake up call for us, and we win on Saturday, because Saturday game is a big game for us. I think big game to win.
Yep. Time to see where Tuchel is
One second, lads. For those of you who don't know where to find GNA TV, I've put the link in the chat. This is the link for GNA TV. Click on it and go subscribe. I think you guys are just short of 3,000 subscribers. GNA, yeah, Jim.
Yeah, not far. We're about 150 or 40. Yeah, something like that.
Let's go support that channel and go click on that link, subscribe, and come back. Don't hang out too long.
150 subscribers or members?
Subscribers.
Oh, you started really early then. You started pretty late. Sorry.
Yeah. Not been on there too long. Just
good luck, man. My biggest issue with your channel is it happened in the middle of the day. It's pretty early in the morning for me. So sometimes I see it and I comment twice. Then when I notice that there's other people looking at my screen, then I shut it down. So
me too. For me, it's like 8:30 in the morning for us, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, so exactly.
Yeah. I'm still there though.
For me, sometimes I'm in a meeting. Even today I did some super chat, and I'm thinking I was in a meeting and I'm using my phone super chatting. I'm like, I hope they don't catch me doing this.
Yeah, sometimes my colleagues were talking to me and they noticed that this guy he's here physically, but his mind is not here, and that's not good for. Then I just shut it down. I said, okay, this is enough now.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, the timing is good for me to watch it, but for me to interact, it's a little bit difficult because I got the school one and I've got lunch and I've got a whole bunch of things that I'm doing. But I can listen to it and I can get involved, via the chat. So, but we have to have content, that is diverse and it directs different, it's for different people at different points in their time. Yeah. And listen, world time zones are different. So
exactly. That's it.
I know a couple of guys watching Gem's stream. For them, it's early morning. So for them, it's late evening.
Some of the Australian guys in there, it's like 9 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, so
declared,
it's
yeah.
So
support the Chelsea family, all.
Yeah, big up. Listen, I think Couch and Jim need to go. They're doing us dirty. But we'll allow it. We'll allow it, guys.
All right.
Yeah, well, I'll be back tomorrow. But this is like my debut live stream. I haven't done one before, so
how are you feeling?
Sorry?
How are you feeling?
A little nervous.
Yeah,
this show runs so smoothly. It's just so hard to even fathom what I'm going to be like, right? So I'm going to have to figure it out. But I got an old pro with Gem coming on. So
before you go, I'm going to put your link in the chat as well, so people can go and support your channel too. Couch, if I can make it a little bit, give you a bit of advice. Do the the custom URL. It makes it easier for people to find a channel.
Okay.
Because right now I've put it on there, and it's massive.
Yeah.
While Jem's one is nice and simple,
Looks nice.
Yeah.
Okay. There's the first tip for the live stream, guys. There you go.
Guys, go check out the Couch Critic. That's his link. Go give him some love. Go give him some subscriptions.
Yep.
Thanks for having us on here as always, man. Appreciate the support. Make sure you subscribe to the Blue Lounge. You're on your way, yeah. So what you on? 80k or is it 8k?
We're 8k, yeah. We're 50 under 50 subscribers.
Yeah, you can do that on this stream, man. Come on, guys.
I don't know, man. People are not doing it for me.
Listen, if you don't give him 50 subscribers, Chelsea will lose to Southampton on the weekend. That's all I'm going to say. So you need to give him 50 subscribers. Come on, good content.
Big up. All
right. See you later.
I should say congrats on the 1 million streams though too. That's big, man. Like 1 million views.
Thank you.
Well done.
Unreal. So keep it going, and I'll be back tomorrow.
No. That's 1 million views across all videos and streams. So across all of the content, I've had 1 million views, which is fantastic. 1,000,009 right now. So it's brilliant.
That's huge, isn't it? To be fair, well done, mate. Well done.
Cheers, mate. Thank
you. All right.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you in a bit.
Take care, lads. See you later.
See you later.
Peace out. See you later.
Yeah. So can I add something, and then probably Bobby will jump on this one.
Go on.
If he's there.
He's there.
I was thinking about it today. Can we? I mean, I'm thinking, do we? The group of players we have right now, do they even have any margin of progression anymore? Like, are they already reached that level already? For me, I'm just feel like maybe they cannot all our players cannot show more than what they've shown out already. That's all they are. Like, we can sit down here and say they're young, they can become something, but maybe that's all they can do at this point. Maybe there's no more margin of progression. We need to start buying new players.
Are you saying the fact that we won the Champions League, we are victims of our own success?
No, really. No, in terms of winning things, I'm just talking about the how do you say, the quality of the game they can give us. That's all they can give. If there is a team facing us that know this type of tactics and know how to play against us, we're not going to have someone that will create something more than Kovacic running with the ball, Jorginho passing the ball, Carvalho come and pass the ball, and there's no more to them. We just kind of dreaming here. Like, there's no. What I'm trying to say, I don't think there is more room for improvement for, like, when you take each player. That's how I'm feeling at this point. I don't know if I'm wrong or not.
All right, I'm going to caveat. I'm going to caveat what you just said with another story that has been reported today by Matt Law. Again, Matt Law, his stories are all controversial. Matt Law has reported this: if Timo Werner does not get enough playing time, then he will seriously be considering moving away from Chelsea. Now, this comes, I mean, as an opinion, as a statement, fine. Any player can make that statement. If I don't get enough playing time, I will go. I have no issues with it. But can you see the timing of the story? This is why I love Matt Law so much, because his timing is always impeccable when it comes to his stories and his reporting. Chelsea have 2 back-to-back defeats. We are having issues in the team. Matt Law comes out with Timo Werner wants to leave if he doesn't get enough playing time. Are the players starting to lose interest? And I keep pushing this. And the reason why I'm pushing this is because if this is the case, how do we address it? Because I think one of the problems that any club goes to, and I think Mohammed can back me up on this. Any club, once the players start to lose interest in whatever shape or form, that's when things go really bad and go sour. And especially with our club, with Chelsea Football Club, the minute Frank Lampard started to get unhappy with certain players and their influence in the dressing room, within a very short period of time, Frank Lampard was sacked. Even though Frank Lampard, till this day, has more support than probably anybody else associated with Chelsea Football Club, but he was sacked. Now, is Tuchel facing issues motivating the players? Because that's how it starts. If it's there, do you guys think it's there, or do you think that there is no such a thing? I'll let Mohammed jump.
Can I go?
Yeah.
I mean, did any of you listen to Frank Lampard's recent interview with Joe Cole on Joe?
I watched it.
Okay, you saw when Joe Cole was talking how he was treated by Jose Mourinho, and Frank Lampard was given freedom. He was let free to do whatever he likes. Mm-hmm. You see, they know Jose Mourinho was picking on Joe Cole. You see, Jose Mourinho stifled his skill set. Joe Cole stopped being a dribbler. When he came to Chelsea, he was a dribbler. Jose Mourinho made him technically a right back or a left back, because all he was doing is covering up. So that will tell you Lampard should have learned that you don't do that. And that's what he did to some of the players like Tamori. You see, towards the end of the interview, he regretted the way he treated him. And Tuchel is doing the same thing with Joe. You're making him a defender. You put him in a position where he's uncomfortable. You're treating him like this. So managers are not perfect. But fans think that because of managers won your trophy, they're just unbelievable. They're godlike figure. No, managers are not perfect. They do mistake all the time. Look at what Jose Mourinho did to Joe Cole. Look at what he did to Kevin De Bruyne. Managers does this to players. They treat them like garbage. Okay, it doesn't mean that
Luke Shaw, Man United.
Yeah, it doesn't mean the player is a bad player. It doesn't mean when a manager take your confidence. Even Rio Ferdinand said it, like Rudiger. When a manager take your confidence, sometimes you doubt yourself when you're on the pitch. You struggle to even dribble because you're thinking, if I dribble, he's gonna yell at me. If I let me play the safe pass. By doing that, the player is shrinking. We all play football. Yes, we all play football. Managers are not the only human being. They like some, they don't like some. They pick on some players, they don't pick on some.
Yes, correct.
When you watch a team, the manager give a freedom. That's the player that be the best player on the pitch. It doesn't mean that they're the most talented. Okay? But the players, sometimes the most talented players are forced to do things that is not in their nature. What does that do? It limits their capacity. By limiting a player's capacity, what you're doing is you're limiting the teams. The manager might win trophy, but the team will struggle sometimes. And that's what happened. Chelsea doesn't have bad players. These players are being forced to play in a certain way. So for me, I don't mind that. That's fine. It's Tuchel way. Jose Mourinho did it. But then put the players that can do that have more energy, that can run around, that can attack in the box. Do that. But you're forcing certain players that this is not their game. And you forcing them to do something that's not their game, in making them look like bad players. These players, none of them are bad players. Even Ziyech is not a bad player. But this is not the way he played football. Like I said, he liked the ball in his feet. Kai Havertz is not a passer. He think when he has the ball around the box, he think about himself first. That's not a bad thing. That's the way he played football. Okay? You didn't sign Thomas Muller. You signed Kai Havertz. In Hakim Ziyech, you didn't sign Riyad Mahrez. You signed Hakim Ziyech. Okay? You have players. There are players in this Chelsea team fans don't like. They might not be popular. But in this system, they're better off. If Tuchel change the system, Kai, Ziyech, you will see them play better. But in this system, it's certain specific players that are better off. But the fans don't want them. So for me, I believe whatever Tuchel do, I trust Tuchel. But for me to believe that Tuchel is not making mistake, that's not true. All the managers, Jose Mourinho here sold Ian Rubin, Damien Duff, Ida Gudjonsen. We won 2 back-to-back league. He sold them. What happened? We didn't win the league for 5 years until Ancelotti. So sometimes managers make mistakes. So it doesn't mean they're perfect. And what did Jose Mourinho did when he came back? He sold De Bruyne, said he wasn't ready in the next 5 years. Got rid of Salah because he wasn't patient. What did he do? He got rid of, afterwards, we won 1 title. The next thing you know, Chelsea had to go and bring drink water and them law because of what? We don't have players. Jose Mourinho sold all the promising players. Sometimes managers make mistakes. Even winning managers make mistakes. Chelsea fans shouldn't think that a manager, because of he won a Champions League or whatever, is the greatest. Yeah, he sold Lukaku as well. He said Lukaku wasn't ready. 2 years later, he bought him for United.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Managers make mistakes.
I think he sold him to Everton.
Tuchel make mistakes. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person, he's a bad manager. That's the thing. Managers are allowed to make mistakes. But the players are not bad players. They are playing a system a manager wants them to play. Okay? And that doesn't mean that they are bad players. If Tuchel wants, what he should do, play the players that can play the system. I remember during the preseason, when Conor Gallagher has one bad 20 minutes, the Chelsea fans were uproar. And right now, in this system, if Conor Gallagher was one of the 10s, he will attack the Juventus midfield. He doesn't care whether he loses the ball. He doesn't care. He will attack it. Okay, Chelsea have the players that can play this, especially in the Chelsea academy system. One thing we don't respect as Chelsea fans, we don't respect Chelsea academy. The Chelsea academy, the players are trained from when they are 12, 13, 14, 15 to play the 3 at the back, the 4 at the back, the 3-5-2, the 3-4-2, the 4-3-3. They're able to play any system. Any system. It might not be their best. They might not be best at it in every system, but they can play it. And those players, they can play this system better than the players we bought.
Do you know what, Mo? Sorry for cutting you off, but
sorry.
you mentioned the interview. I was surprised at this because I didn't know this, but apparently Rio Ferdinand was a 10.
Yeah,
And he
it
was
yeah.
converted into a centre back. Okay, so
Thank you.
Why you didn't know that, Mo?
massive. I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know
John
Rio
Terry,
Ferdinand was a 10.
John Terry
It
was
was.
a striker, then a midfielder, then a defender.
It was a striker.
That's why he's good with the ball. You see, he can ping it anywhere. Okay? Tammy Abraham was a defender, then a midfielder, then a striker.
Yeah, then a striker. Yeah. So
Okay,
players can play in multiple positions. I mean, we saw Chalobah coming into the game against Juventus in a DM role, and he did well. I mean, his composure, his passing, and it was more impressive because the fact is, this is a massive Champions League night, and the lad is still young, and he still did what he did. So I want to address a comment that DJ Sav made. 2 losses won't get the manager sacked. I hope not. Anyway, these players will get them back on track, and I'm not worried. DJ, I don't think Tuchel is gonna get sacked. I don't think him being sacked is anywhere in the building. This conversation about him getting sacked is nowhere to be found, in my opinion. Tuchel is going to be our manager for a long, long time. I think Tuchel has the tools, he has the know-how, he has the experience, and I agree, he also has the respect of the players, because Tuchel managed to do something fantastic in a very short period of time. My only concern is if he doesn't address slight issues, because I think there is always going to be issues in the dressing room. No team is void of issues in the dressing room. It's going to happen, and if you don't address them and you allow them to grow, that's when the problems are gonna happen. Now, I think we touched on Ben Chilwell not starting. Ben Chilwell was brought in as a first choice player. Okay, so when he doesn't start, it's gonna have repercussions. It's gonna have a ripple effect. If Callum Hudson-Odoi doesn't start now, the ripple effect is a little bit less. Callum Hudson-Odoi not starting under Sarri and then under Lampard was a bigger problem, because he hadn't signed a contract. We wanted him to sign a contract. We wanted to convince him. But now that he's signed and now that Lampard is gone and he's under Tuchel, if Tuchel doesn't play him, it causes less of a ripple effect in regards to the dressing room. I concur with what Mohamed said in regards to Callum. Being played out of position, that's not going to be something that he's going to be happy about. But at the same time, I'll come back and I'll say this: all players are able to play in different positions, and like Mohamed also said, in different systems. My concern is, why is Tuchel not changing the system? Because the system in the first half was a little bit lackluster. The system in the second half had to change because we conceded a goal within 12 seconds. He didn't really change it. He changed the players, but he didn't change the system. I raised the question, and I know a lot of people have raised this today. Timo Werner not coming on, but Barkley coming on instead, confused me. Yes, Barkley did well when he came on, but isn't Timo Werner ahead of him in the pecking order? Isn't Timo Werner a bigger investment for Chelsea? Timo Werner being sidelined when we needed a goal in a very big game concerns me. Mohamed, I know you've got your hand up, but I want to give other people a chance to come in. I want to hear from Bobby on this particular issue. Bobby, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I've listened carefully to this. I don't see this. I really don't. I've listened carefully. I've tried to put down my Chelsea hat, And every which way I look at this, I don't see this at all. I just see a situation that was more or less inevitable. We're not even giving this manager the time to sort it. A problem has happened. Before somebody sorts out the problem, we're already claiming that the person can't deal with me. It reminds me of some of the arguments I have with my wife. Before I can breathe, she's all over me. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute, give me you know, give me the opportunity to do, what I said I will do. I just think we have to wait this one out. What is it? 2 games we've lost in a row. It happens. It happens to the best all the time. The players, I mean, Ziyech, how many more opportunities do we want to give this guy? There's some mileage in, I don't know who it was it Boogeyman? He asked the question, have some of these players given more than, given their optimum? I certainly think where Ziyech is concerned, I don't see any margin of improvement there. But for people like Kai Havertz, gosh, because of their age, there is huge margin for improvement. He's still a developing player. He's done very well for us to even be looking to depend on him so much. And so be it. I'm not panicked at all. I'm not worried at all. If I didn't see this situation, I would be worried. If it was the same level of smooth sailing all the way through, I would think, wow, either Tuchel is some sort of eccentric genius or something is just not right. Everything that's happening now should be what we're expecting. And what we should be doing is giving this man the opportunity to face the new set of diverse challenges that he will get, both with his players and the current injuries and fatigue and everything that's coming with it, with his trusted players and with the opposition, the strength of the opposition. He has to do things differently. That's all I can really see. Yet again, see me quoting Boogeyman. But, Boogeyman keeps saying this man has to use the strength of his squad. I completely agree. He's come to that stage where he has to use the squad. He has to dig into the academy players that do well when they come on. But, I just don't see this magnificent sort of situation. Oh, is he losing the players? Or he hasn't lost anybody. As for Werner, well, Werner has had ample opportunity to play and he's not delivered. So he's warming the bench a bit. He's doing what he should have, what should have happened to him last season. I'm not bothered.
We're dropping Timo Werner for Ross Barkley.
I don't care. Is he better than Barkley? I don't think so. Well, Barkley, Barkley hasn't had under Tuchel the opportunities that Werner has had. And I bet you if he does, even if he's playing in a different position, he'll probably score more goals. As for Matt Law, I think he's a stirrer. I don't want to say certain things on your channel. I have no respect for Matt Law. I just look at him as an opportunist. He's not a good journalist at all. He just looks for an opportunity to get some attention. What does he mean by that sort of stupid, daft statement? Just like he said, "Oh, Chelsea haven't started with any English players." What does that do for relationships right now, the way football is?
I'm going to interject and ask you this question. Do you think that report had something to do with the substitutions that Tuchel made?
I think the report had something to do with his personal interest in players, which we know he has, and his own stupidity. I don't respect him. I really don't. Unfortunately, I've not had the opportunity to tell him to his face. But if I ever did, I would. Some people they're given the privilege to use the pen or the PC or a few characters on Twitter, and they just make an absolute fool of themselves. And he's one of them. No time for that guy at all. I wish he doesn't claim to be some sort of Chelsea journalist because he's not.
Can I say something though? Maybe I
Yeah,
will
go
look
ahead.
little footage.
No,
So,
go ahead,
Timo Werner will reassess Chelsea future if he cannot force his way back to Tuchel lineup. So, am I supposed to lose sleep over that?
No, no. The
Exactly, but he
timing,
wants you
the
to.
timing, the timing, the timing.
Yo, Timo Werner can.
That is no story. Hey, Boogeyman, that is not a story. That is not a story. That statement can be said in regards to anyone in the Chelsea team right now.
Yeah, in
Anyone
fact,
in the
yeah.
Chelsea team right now, that statement could be said in regards to any of them. The timing of that story, because Timo Werner, as a player, in regards to the fan base, in regards to what happened to him in the open training session they had a few weeks back, in regards to all of these aspects. You see, Matt Law is not stupid. He knows who to highlight and when to highlight them to get the reaction that he wants to get. And unfortunately, us talking about this is probably the reaction that he wants to get.
Can I quickly
I
talk?
mean,
Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
yeah, go, Eric Blue. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to talk about Matt Law. I don't agree with the way he does things all the time. I understand why people have issues with him, but I think he is reliable. You won't always get things right. I don't have anything. I don't have any reason to believe that he has some kind of ulterior motive. Maybe he has players in the team who he prefers or he wants to do better or things like that. But I don't think he's trying to create any kind of news that doesn't exist. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, the timing of it is strange. Certain things he's done in the past, certain articles he's written. But I still think he's a reliable Chelsea source. He still gets a lot of things right. So that's all I'll say about Matt Law.
Sorry, Eric Blue, I just want to interject.
Sorry, Bobby. We are not doubting the fact that he has sources and that he has insight and probably does have accurate information. But what we are saying is sometimes his timing and his emphasis on certain stories is a little bit off. Sorry to cut you off, Bobby.
But Bobby said, before you continue, Bobby, you said that you don't think he's a good Chelsea journalist. That's why I made the comment.
No, I think some people use their voice to create mischief. I'll give you a perfect example as to one of the things he does that makes me have absolutely no respect for him whatsoever. First of all, he stirs the proverbial shit where it comes to where he sees the opportunity in Chelsea matters. But in the climate we're in a situation where we are trying to get ourselves into a new level of dealing with life, we have racial problems that have been in our communities, our environment in this country probably for centuries. I can't believe I'm even saying this. And this guy, all he can think of to write on the eve of a Chelsea game, and the funny thing is, we highlighted this on one of Mo's platforms before, how the media attacked Chelsea for fielding a team that didn't have any English players for the first time in the 90s during the sort of Vialli Zola era. And for him to resurrect that sentiment, knowing that there are some very fickle-minded people that will latch onto this. And the next thing, if a black player does something, you start getting all this racial abuse. As far as I'm concerned, he is part of it. And don't pretend you're not. That was a malicious thing to do. Just like this thing he's done with Werner, there's malice behind it. He's throwing a bomb into what he hopes is a situation so he can stir up the fan base. There's no story here. There's nothing to see here. If Werner's on the bench and he didn't come on and play, so what? I don't care. You know what I mean? He wasn't needed at the time. But for Matt Law, it's an opportunity.
What I would say to counter, what I would say to counter that as well is, Matt Law isn't responsible for how people react to. Yes, I know what it's designed to make people react. I'm aware of that, but he's not responsible for how people behave. People have the choice to believe what he says or take it or leave it. React however they want to react.
Yeah, but
Even though
he's saying
Well,
Eric,
Eric,
he's in a position
yeah,
because he's
yeah,
in that
you
position.
can't.
He's
Yeah,
abusing.
people
that's
can be
fair. That's
triggered.
correct. That's correct. Yeah.
People can be triggered. I'm an Englishman. I've lived in this country all my life. I know our people. I know the journey we've had. And there are certain things you can say that will trigger people. I remember the days when the Sun newspaper used to trigger people. They created violence. In Euro 96, all that stuff they were putting out there about the Second World War and the Germans and this and that and the other. When England lost to Germany, people were smashing up people driving in Mercedes-Benz cars and BMWs, people that had absolutely nothing to do with nothing. Why? They had been triggered by the media. It happens that way. And what Matt Law did was irresponsible. That's one of the reasons I have no time for him whatsoever.
I agree.
Great power come with great responsibility.
Yo, that's Spider-Man line, man.
Last night in the Juventus game, and he mentioned that about that quote he made about that no English player since God knows when. He doesn't need to do that really.
There's no need for it. It doesn't make any sense. What's the point? And that's why
Yeah.
do we need to know that information? It's irrelevant.
And the other thing is, people keep saying that Chelsea lost 2 games, but I just feel like there's some nuance we have to pull up here. The first game we were dominated, we lost it. The second game we dominate, and we lost it. So it's not really that we're playing the same way and we're losing. You know what I mean? So for me,
sorry, I'm interjecting a lot. Sorry. The first game we lost, I think, there were excuses there. The second game, Juve outdone us. They did. Their manager outclassed us. His tactics were better. It was a real bad day in the office. I mean, we were done last night. No doubt about it. I have no doubts. That's why I don't feel any upset, because I just think we lost to the better team in the night. They played better. They sussed us out, and they did a job on Chelsea. Is that the end of the road? No, I think it's a learning curve.
No.
I kind of even think it's good it's happened, because now we'll start to know the manager we've got.
I don't think it is good. That for sure. I don't think it was good at all.
No.
I don't think it was good.
But it's normal.
Listen. People in the chat, you have 20 minutes. Lines are open. 20 minutes. You can come on and give me your thoughts and opinions about the game. All right. So the link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comment. Click on it, and once you're in, we'll hear your thoughts and opinions about the game and what you think needs to happen moving forward. Boogeyman,
who's Tuchel?
One second.
Sorry.
1 second, Boogeyman. You not ask a question, Boogeyman?
Yeah, I was going to say, who's Tuchel assistant? Do we have any good, just in case Tuchel get fired?
No. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Yeah. Let's not go there.
Boogeyman's Matt Law's assistant.
Debutant. Yeah.
Boogie, do you work for the Sun?
What did you say?
Do you work for the Sun newspaper?
No. In fact, I just want to know who is there, just in case,
I'm getting worried now.
No. Listen, I want Tuchel to stay, but I just, because I know our owner, when it's not going the way he wanted, he's the one that triggered everything. So, I'm relaxed when it comes to that. I'm never going to say Tuchel out or any Chelsea coach out, because I trust Roman. When Roman sees stuff that he doesn't like, you out.
I think we'll be all right, Boogeyman. Next 5 games, we've got Southampton, we've got Bradford away, got Norwich home, and Newcastle.
We'll be all right. But our first half,
we should be all right, I think.
My concern is international break.
Yeah, and they're going to use Mount. See, I think it was Bobby that was saying something about this whole thing. Mount will be sitting, and the international break come. England will call him.
It should be going ready.
No,
it shouldn't be going ready.
It's gonna. No, sorry. Let me answer this. People think that because of your call, you're going to play. Under the FIFA law, Mount has to report to England. They're gonna assess him. They're gonna let him release him again with James. The calling is just to stop teams doing it. That's all. He's not going to play.
I disagree
So,
with what you
No,
just said.
I don't think he's going to go.
Pulisic
No.
was injured.
no.
Pulisic was injured for us. He didn't play too much game under Lampard or at the beginning of Tuchel or something. He was called by USA. He went there and played official game there.
Yeah. To be honest with you, that's up to the player. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If a player said, okay, it's up to the player. Pulisic wanted to play, and he made himself worse. Okay, that's the problem. That's up to Pulisic because he thought America needed him. Okay, but Mount knows that if he aggravates this injury, he might be out for longer period. You see what happened to Pulisic? Okay, and James has been called up. He's not going to play. He's going to return back to Cobham. Okay, you remember Kante? France called him up. They didn't play him the first game. The second game, they sent him back because they brought them in to assess them.
Can I just say something more? I
want to hear from Kasim. Go on, Kasim.
I think more, believe it or not, guys, I think the international break coming next week is very good for us. So it gives us the player injured, the like of Kante or Mason Mount, that 10 days extra to be fit and Reece James including and be back. So I think after inshallah on Saturday beat Southampton, that international break is very crucial for us. It's a good one, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's not my point. My point is when they be called by the national teams, the national team will decide they're ready to play, and they will play them for games.
Yeah, it's the decision of the coach. If he wants to play him,
exactly,
he can play him. I want to bring in Tyrone, Ty Talks. How you doing, my man?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. How are you?
All right. I
Tyrone, we've lost your audio.
I got a bit better after the defeat. I wasn't really sad about it. Obviously, the way I looked at it was.
Sorry, can you say that again, mate?
Repeat, Tyrone.
Oh, you hear me?
Yeah. We can just repeat it again.
You have some audio issues.
All right. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try again. I was saying that I got a little bit better after, a day pass and everything. The defeat I wasn't really sad about the defeat. I was disappointed, obviously, but I kind of looked at it in a way, like Bobby said, where, we were beaten by the better team. We were, in a sense, tactically outclassed because, coming from a defeat previously, obviously the mindset still was poor. The mentality wasn't there. So obviously I wasn't expecting us to go out there and to smash them 6-0 or something like that. So obviously it's a learning process, and I kind of want to add to what Bobby said as well. And obviously we won the Champions League last season, but we always have to remember that the team has a lot of players with frailties that can always return at any moment. So obviously those instances will happen, especially when they are weak mentally. So obviously you can't really be surprised when it comes on to that. But I'm happy that the defeats are coming sooner, because last season it was the other way around, and we were doing at least 50% good, and something was still lacking. So I'm happy that it's happening now, so that we don't feel a bit too confident, so we can realize that there's an issue that needs to be resolved.
All right, fantastic remark. I have a few people waiting to get on, so I'm gonna try to give everybody a chance to give me their thoughts, and then we'll address the comments in one lump sum. So Tyrone, thank you very much. It's been a while since we've had you on the stream, so it's good to hear from you. Hope to see you in the future. Cheers, Tyrone.
Yeah, sure.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. We have Gabriel coming on. Gabriel, how you doing, my man?
Hi, guys.
Hi, Gabriel.
Hey, all right.
I was earnestly searching last night for a stream, and it appears that you didn't have a post-match reaction.
Good job, we didn't have one.
And perhaps it was best to leave it to 24 hours later.
Definitely.
Look, I just want to big up the sage of Chelsea fans, Bobby. Is certainly the wise man of the group.
I thought you were going to say my name, man. Come on, man.
I was waiting as well. Bobby's getting all the plaudits again.
No, I give him that. Actually, Bobby's a special man in it. I give him
listen,
that.
listen. Bobby, when I gave him a chance to come in, all right, he literally covered every single point. I'm thinking, does he have a pen and paper? Is he writing this stuff down? Because he didn't miss nothing. He didn't miss nothing.
I can guarantee you that the way he argues, he's taking notes. I can guarantee you that.
I'm sure.
And listen, let me caveat that. Look, again, I didn't get the notification that the stream was live until 20 minutes ago.
Wow.
And then when I entered, Bobby obviously gave his wonderful sermon as usual. But listen, my first experience of following Chelsea was going back to our striker being Paul Furlong, followed by John Spencer, with Eddie Newton, Craig Burley as central defenders, central mid, and Gruzovic and Karine as the goalkeepers. So this is going back to the mid 90s. Yeah. And my first game seeing Chelsea live was Gianfranco Zola against West Ham, nutmegging Paul Dix in a 4-0 win against West Ham. So this is the late 90s now, right? So
you mean Julian Dix?
Julian Dix, exactly, yeah. So the point being, following football, following a club, it's a roller coaster. And in a way, we're privileged. We've got a brilliant, obviously the Abramovic era, etc. We've got a brilliant manager now. We've got to be behind him. He's still only, 6 months into his career as the coach. He's still finding his way around the club. He's still finding his way around the team. Let's not be reactionary. And again, I've only just joined the stream, so I don't know, all the ins and outs of what you guys discussed. But
no, we didn't ask for anyone to be out, mate. We're all right.
Okay,
You're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
all right. Yeah. So look, the long and short of it is, let's, based on the last 6 months, we're in safe hands. When inevitably we're going to have a few blips along the road, we're going to have disappointing performances, we're going to have bad results. But imagine, let's take a more longer term picture, because this is what most Chelsea fans have been screaming for years. And Chelsea, remember when you had Mohamed Haidar on? There was a few things he said that I didn't really like about, London is always Arsenal because of heritage and history and all that crap. Because every successful club in history has always had some financial input. They've had some financial sort of, with success, you get finance, therefore you can reinvest, etc. And there's always this sort of cheap argument that, Chelsea are like Man City, they just get the oil money and they pump in. Chelsea are not like that. I don't believe that. Probably the first 3-4 seasons where Chelsea were trying to catch up to the big boys. But since then, they've been relatively self-sufficient, etc. And so I lost my train of thought slightly, but the point being, Chelsea fans really want a bit of a mini, I was going to say a dynasty, but in reality, it's going to be a mini dynasty, even if it's 4 or 5 seasons. That in modern football is quite a long-term dynasty compared to like the Alex Ferguson 20 plus years or whatever he was there. Look, in short, Tuchel is a great coach. He's going to make mistakes. He's not going to get everything right. There might be some personnel issues. Like what I've always said, I'm going to repeat it for probably the 4th or 5th time. We probably do need a more tiki-taka central midfield sort of type of playmaker. But let's see. let's just hold fire. Let's, I'd be surprised at the end of the season if we're not Premier League champions, or at least there or thereabouts with a cup or two. So
I agree.
Come on, this is just a little,
Yeah. No, you make some good points. I want to address a remark though, Gabriel. I know we said we're going to address all the remarks afterwards, but I want to address one particular remark, and that was regarding Mohamed Haidar. Mohamed Haidar is a person who I have a lot of time for and a lot of respect for, but unfortunately, when it comes to football, he's a little bit tunnel visioned when it comes to he sees what he wants to see rather than seeing the big picture. And I respect the man on many levels, but in respect to that statement, I agree with you 110%. So Gabriel, thank you very much for coming on, and we'll talk again. Take care, brother.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Cheers.
Take care, mate.
I'm gonna bring in Olu. Olu, how you doing, my man? Olu, can you hear me? Olu, you're on mute. All right, I think we have a connection issue with Olu. Max Burton, DJ Sav, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing?
Hey, big up, guys.
All right, boys.
Good,
Yeah,
guys.
not
Sorry
bad,
I'm
not
late.
bad.
Hey, Max.
Me too.
Elijah had his first football. He's joined a football team, and
Oh,
he came
excellent.
back a bit late today. So it was.
How old
Congrats,
is
mate.
it?
Not Arsenal, I hope.
No, it's not Arsenal. It's not Arsenal. He's
How old is he
13.
now?
He's 13.
All right, yeah.
All right, so Max, give me your thoughts on the game, mate.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? It was another one of those games where I just didn't feel. You know what my issue is with us is our game is very reliant on our fullbacks, okay? Because that's where the creativity comes from in the side, and as I love Aspie as a player, don't get me wrong, but he's not a wing back. Whenever he plays there, and Marcus Alonso, he's had his 4 good games this season, so he's going to go back to mediocrity. So when you've got 2 fullbacks there, you can't. Yeah, when you've got 2 fullbacks who are not creating anything, it's easy to defend against. It made it very easy to defend against. We've also got no dynamism in the midfield, because Havertz, he needs to. I don't know. I love him. I like him as a player, but I just want him to have a bit more, a bit more drive about him. Yeah, just that bit more drive and be quicker.
Yeah,
he's a bit slow to the ball, and just a bit. I know that's just maybe his style. I keep saying that he's got that Ozil type style about him, but I just want somebody there. We was crying out for a Christian Pulisic yesterday. Somebody of that ilk who can unlock defenses with dribbling.
I think Reece James as well, Max. Reece James.
Yeah, Reece James. I don't think he drives as much as he should do. He would have been perfect. Livramento or the boy we sent to Brighton, Lamptey. Those 2 in this system would be perfect, because they are wing backs who love to commit people, drive forward. They're direct, and they can pull defenses apart with their pace and trickery. So that's what we're lacking. And even like Ziyech again, he's another one who was really not in the game. He's on the periphery of things. We just need. Even maybe, I'm not sure Werner, but maybe it's just somebody who can stretch the player a bit and help Lukaku out a bit, because I made that video yesterday. I'm not sure if you all watched it. There's a bit of a disjoint now, because obviously with Lukaku coming in, we've changed the style of our play a little bit, and he likes to pin himself against that last defender, and he likes to get that ball in. So we're not as fluid. We're not as fluid at all. But I just think, and also the other thing is that we were a bit jaded. Kovačić looks tired at the moment, because you see some of those lazy passes and things like that. He's played a lot of games. When you think him and Jorginho have both played a lot of games, because especially when you think Jorginho played all the way to Italy, reached the final of the cup. So he didn't really have that much of a break during the pre-season. And he was giving away sloppy passes as well. So our team just looked a lack of energy. Even Tuchel came out and said that they weren't in training they were doing a lot, but they weren't doing that on the pitch. Is it a confidence thing after the City game? I don't know. Is it a fact that they need to give some of the players a rest and bring others in? That may be it. Because if you look at what Pep does, he rotates his squad, doesn't he? So yesterday there was no, against PSG, and he didn't have Foden, who was exceptional against us. So Foden was on the bench. And who else was on the bench? There was somebody, Gabriel Jesus, and both of them had great games against us, but they're on the bench for that game. Yeah, it was good, yeah. So when you're playing with, because they expanded a lot of energy against us that day. So Tuchel's got to be. He did a lot last season with the rotation, but I don't think we're seeing a lot of that rotate, especially in the. I know, it's a bit of a tricky one because you want players to play with Lukaku, but in the same way, you still need the players to get, just to get the energy.
Max, sorry to call you, Max. That's why I'm not worried, because look, Man City, they lost against PSG and they lost against Tottenham, and they drew against Southampton. They didn't have that great start as well, but that's why I'm not worried. I'm just a bit concerned. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's early days, and I don't think there's no need to press the panic button yet, because once we get into our rhythm, then I think we'll be okay. And we've got a smart coach. He's going to see what's happening. Teams are people are saying teams are sussing us out, but you know what? He's going to come up with different ideas, because yesterday he didn't stay at the three at the back, did he? He changed the personnel a bit to try and force something out of the game, and he went to a 4-3-3 system. And arguably, had we had the Lukaku miss and the Havertz header, then no one would be talking about yesterday. Would have been a 1-1 draw.
So true.
And that's the margins of the game.
Yeah. Do you think Tuchel doesn't fully trust the squad? Because the rotation you mentioned, he's only I think it was only the League Cup match against Aston Villa where we saw a lot of rotation. So do you think he fully trusts that the squad is good enough to make a lot of rotation?
Time will tell, because if Loftus-Cheek doesn't get some games now, then we could say then he's just looking at that core what he had last season, because people like him have proved in the last 3 games that they've played that they are worthy of more game time. Because when Loftus-Cheek came on yesterday, he didn't give the ball away once, did he? He looked good, he was good. So that's the 3rd game now in a row that he's looked quite impressive. And what you can see with him, in answer to your question, Eric, Loftus-Cheek is now ahead of Saul. So if he didn't trust some of these players, then he would have stuck to the tried and tested, because Saul's the easy one to because we brought him in from Atletico, but he said, you know what, Loftus-Cheek's played and he's looked good, so I'm giving him some minutes, and he'll probably get more minutes as well. Even Ross Barkley came on, and he looked decent as well.
I've got a feeling Max is going to start against Southampton. I've got a feeling he's going to start.
Yeah, Ruben.
Yeah, he looked like he had a point to play.
Ruben, yeah.
I've got a feeling. Ross Barkley.
Have you guys heard what Tuchel said about bringing Ross on?
Yeah.
We were not taking shots, shooting.
That was going to be my exact point. I was just about to say that.
Because of he is the only 10. Let's be honest. Ross Barkley is the only 10 in the squad.
Yeah, it looked good.
The only other 10 we have is Tino Anjorin. We send him, and he's playing right now. I'm watching the game, and the kid is good. He's playing for. They're playing Lazio right now.
Locomotive.
And the kid, each time he have the ball, 19-year-old, you can tell he's a 10. Yeah. Okay, Ross Barkley has found his way in the Chelsea team somehow, whether by hook or by crook. He's the only 10 we have. And Tuchel talk about shooting.
For sure.
Tuchel talk about shooting outside the box.
That's it. That's the one. Exactly.
Kova is not shooting. Yeah,
that's it.
So Ross Barkley is
something more. I think if Ross Barkley, we know he's always a good player. It's good, that ability. If he just stay disciplined and consistent, he'd be fantastic. It really is.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly. That's the problem. It's just discipline. Ross Barkley's talent is not a problem. It's just sometimes he lost it. Yeah.
So back in the day, because back in the day, they were saying that he was actually, they were likening him to Paul Gascoigne, wasn't he, when he first came in as an 18-year-old?
They did.
Yeah. You saw his combination play at Everton with Romelu Lukaku. I think they scored nearly 31 goals combined between them two. passing to each other. He's a 10. Ross Barkley is a proper 10. But the thing is, he's just sometimes his head. It's like something scrambled in the head sometimes. That's the problem because he will be in the middle of the pitch.
Are you a psychologist, Mo?
No. It's just sometimes. Boogeyman.
He says,
Boogeyman. Remember with Ben Chilwell. He was doing the psychology for Ben Chilwell.
Sometimes Ross Barkley, you will see him. Instead of shooting, he will pass. Instead of passing, he will shoot. So you kind of like, what's going on with you? Are you crazy?
Do you think it's a confidence thing though? Because sometimes you could be a good player at a smaller club, but sometimes it takes that bigger personality to remember. Alex Ferguson always said it used to take a special character to play at Manchester United. So it wasn't necessarily your ability; it's whether you can handle the pressure of playing for a big club. So do you think that he hasn't sort of felt his place in a big club as yet? He's not felt like he doesn't belong.
I think the problem with Ross Barkley, you remember what happened with even Cantona. He had problem with in France. You know why? He thinks that when he's on the pitch, tell him what you want him to do, let him do it. If you give him too much information, you're confusing him. That's why Cantona was a hothead in France. He didn't make it. They kick him out. So Ross Barkley, what Roberto Martinez did, he gave him less information. He sent him on the pitch, make the football simple for him. But if you give him too many tactical thingy, you're confusing him. That's why he struggled at big clubs. That's
but
problem.
having said that, though, he was quite decent with Sarri, and Sarri used to give him a lot of information. I think his game grew a lot with Sarri.
Yeah, but you saw what Sarri did to Rubin and Ross Barkley. He told them simple things. Sarri wasn't complicated. He doesn't want you to lose the ball. Sarri said it himself. He said, like, when you're in the midfield, you got to do triangle. But as soon as you get to the opposition final third, the strikers and the attacking players, they're free to do whatever they like. Sarri's football is only tactical from defense, the midfield. But when he gets to the other end, you are free to do what you like. Sorry.
Give me a second.
You love that, don't you?
I do. People, we are just over 30 subscribers away from 8,000 subscriber milestone. So do us a favor. If you're watching this stream and you haven't subscribed, you can make all the difference right now. All right, because we are really close to it. I got a feeling we're gonna hear some bombs being dropped by Julius. Julius, welcome to the stream. Tell me your thoughts on yesterday's match.
My man, Julius, welcome.
Hey, Julius.
Big up, Julius.
Hey, Julius.
Big up, everyone. Yeah, Julius, you're all right.
Big up.
Boogeyman sidekick.
Before Julius drops his bombs, I got a feeling one of them is going to be about Lukaku, but I'm just thinking out loud. Go on, Julius.
Yes. So, the game was very disappointing yesterday. Very, very frustrating, especially when I heard Chiellini saying the day before, tomorrow's game is going to be one of the easiest games we have to play this season. So it's just, you know what, man, like, it's so frustrating. And we literally played into Allegri's plan. He expected us that we're going to press high, push, and they're going to just sit 10 players in the box and hit us on the counters. Tactically, it was wrong. Now, when it comes to Lukaku, I'm not going to say that he was the reason why we lost. Of course not, he wasn't. But you get sometimes one chance, you have to put it in as a big player in these decisive games. I know he hasn't been getting a lot of services, and it's not his fault in general that he's not getting a lot of passes to him, and it's frustrating. But man, come on, like, look, when I see Cristiano Ronaldo doing what he's doing, it pisses me off.
Yeah, and Messi, one chance in the game against Man City.
I know, it was a great chance as well, Max. It was easy chance. When he turned, I thought he was going to score.
Yeah.
Just take the ball, man. He doesn't need to go for the power. Just take the ball.
That's why I said we pay $100 million for those moments.
Exactly. So that's why I'm disappointed in general. I don't And also another thing I want to talk about is the midfield. Something I was really stressing about all summer, why I'm worried about, why I think that transfer window was crap, in my opinion. The reason is I always knew when Kante is not around, when an informed Kante is not playing, we are a different animal. You know, we are not the same Chelsea, man. It's so scary how much impact this guy has on us when he's playing in form and when he's free of injuries.
Julius, can you say the same about Mount as well, do you think?
Yes, I want to also include Mount, but I think I want to say that Kante's impact is a lot bigger. But of course, Mount and Kante, you know, when you like, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a Madrid fan. I'm like, when we're playing without Kante and Mount, it's like you guys playing without Modric and Kroos. It's that much. It's that big for Chelsea to miss these two players. So I think the underlying problems that we had from last year's are starting to show. I am a little bit concerned, but not to a point where we should be panicking. But we have problems, man. We need to address the midfield. It's not good enough. Kovačić and Jorginho, I never liked that partnership. They're both really good players. Something is off. I'm not a tactician. I'm not a professional footballer to understand all the nits and grits of why this partnership is not perfect, but it's just not good enough. That's how I look at it.
Did anyone see PSG against Man City the other day?
No.
Did anyone watch that game?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see Verratti? Did you see Verratti?
Yep.
Different gravy. Yeah.
Totally
I know that lad as well from used to play for Everton. He was fantastic.
Gay was good. Yeah,
he was
good.
Yeah.
He's
but
always
Verratti
is somebody, he's someone who could see the ball under. With Verratti, they can do the press with Verratti in there because Verratti he's just. Even when Pep was praising him, he said he fell in love with this. He's in love with this player because this guy, he's always one step ahead. You know, he's always one step ahead, knows what he's doing, and he's a bit nasty as well, which I like. He puts the tackle in.
Tuchel likes him as well.
Yeah,
PSG's problem is Mbappe and Neymar. Did you see the nonsense?
Mbappe doesn't pass it. Mbappe doesn't pass it. He's too greedy. He's a good player, but he's so greedy.
Yeah. But last game, Neymar was coming back to most of the time when Manchester City is countered PSG. Neymar was pretty much the only one from the front three running back. I kind of noticed that he's taking more responsibilities at this point. Messi will be walking, Mbappe will be walking most of the time also. So,
Did they have an argument, Mbappe and Neymar?
And Neymar, yeah.
But Pochettino said the reason why Mbappe was there is to force City. So, like, you know what they did with us? You remember, they cramp, they surround us. With Mbappe's speed, City were scared. That's why City left 3 players behind. So that was a tactic. That's why Mbappe was walking back.
Yeah, but they could afford when we had Werner, they could afford to do it all those fast, but they knew that you can't dribble with the ball properly.
They learn from their mistakes.
I agree with Julius more regards N'Golo Kante, man. He's massive for us.
Yes,
it really is.
Yeah,
we look like a different team without N'Golo Kante, 100%, and that's becoming in future a problem, really.
Yeah, there's something in the chat as well. The last one, is it Google Lefu? I think it is. Oh, you're looking at your channel subs. Yeah, about Havertz as a false number 9. I do think we do play better as a team. Yeah. When we have a false 9, but obviously it's a goals situation about scoring the goals. So it's a really fine balance. But as a team, I think we do play better because it's harder for defenders to pick up someone who's playing like a false 9.
The thing is with the modern football game now, there is a lot of emphasis on midfield from the managers. Basically, if you win the midfield battle, you win the game. And unfortunately, and the reason why Kante for me is massive is because every time he's there, we're winning that midfield battle. and we're gonna put so much pressure on these opposition teams, especially if someone like Juve wants to sit deep, hit us on the counter. Very obvious tactics. We knew this was gonna happen. They with a Kante there, that those breakups will not happen as often and would not be as dangerous, because even when he's not directly involved with the ball, he puts them off with his positioning or with his pressure, with the way he runs. And
that's a great point there, because if you look at Gay, obviously someone mentioned Gay, I think it was you, Kazim. A fit Kante would have done that to Man City what Gay did for PSG the other day, because he just didn't let Man City settle. He was breaking up everything, and he was sort of running between the lines, etc. And he was really, really busy. And Gay was the closest thing to Kante in the Premier League.
Yeah, I always said that, Max.
Yeah.
When he used to play for Aston Villa, and after that he brought him to Everton, I always saw that on him. He's very closest player to Kante's style.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, don't you guys notice that when Kies, the first mistake by Cover, when he spin past Christensen, and he was running towards our goal, he was so far ahead of you, Rudiger, and Rudiger catch up. Because of Rudiger catch up, he snapped at the shot. Do you remember, after that, Juventus didn't attack, they didn't build a single attack from our left-hand side. They keep attacking from our right hand, Aspi and Christensen. And Christensen, because of that, he keep backing off. And if you're playing somebody that's countering you, and they have two players, if you're playing three defenders, you know what you do? You go man-to-man, like City did us. They man-to-man. But because of Christensen was scared of the pace of Chiesa and Benedetti, he moved back. And that's why their counters were easy for them to counter us.
But if you look at all our right-hand side and the centre as well, Mohamed, it was slow. Everything, because Christensen's pinkish, but he's not lightning, is he? Because Azpilicueta's old, and Silva's a bit older as well. So
can I just say something more regard Chelsea board? I'm a bit. I mean, as I said to you, in the early show today, I'm very disappointed with the Chelsea board regard the transfer and leaving Rudiger situation coming to this dilemma. 200 grand a week. I don't think they signed enough. I mean, we sold a lot of players, and when it's a lot of money, we only signed Lukaku. And we didn't deal with the situation regards Rudiger, giving him 200 grand a week, leaving it to last minute. So that in a way, I want to say the players know something.
But Qasim, Habibi,
trying to make a deal.
You were not on that stance 2 months ago. That's my problem, and that's the case with a lot of the fans. You were one of the people who were very happy with the transfers and with our board and how we conduct business, and the fact that we are slow and we make bad decisions without getting too excited about signing a couple of players here and there without having a proper plan. We knew from day one. I knew it. Bobby knew it. Boogeyman knew it. This is gonna come hunt us down.
Julius, I'm sorry, Julius. I disagree with you because I wanted Chelsea to sign Grealish.
Yeah,
I wanted Chelsea to sign Grealish, but I am telling you now, and I will tell you again. I'm not a big fan of Ziyech. Point number one. Point number two. I am not happy with Rudiger's situation because I rate Rudiger hardly. I think if I've got the power to give Rudiger 250 grand a week, I will give him that because he will deserve it. Never mind 200 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of us as well, Julius, wanted a midfielder, not Sale. Sale was a panic play. And when we got him, because I think people are happy that we got him, is because we didn't get anyone else in, and he's an extra body in there. But a lot of us would have gone for. Some of us like Declan Rice, some of us don't. A few of us wanted Tchouameni or somebody like that, and we all wanted another centre back as well.
For me, I have to admit it. Apart from Tchouameni and Declan Rice at the right price, for me, I said, if we don't buy those two, any of those two, I don't want anybody. I don't want Saul Miguel because I saw Saul coming up. I said it on Monster Stream, if I'm not mistaken, or Super Chats and stuff. I said Saul Miguel is the Dele Alli of Spain. People thought I was crazy because I've watched him. I watched him when he was understudy to Koke, to Gabi, to Luis Suarez, the midfielder at Atletico. I watched him. I watch football, so I know what he's good at is arriving at the box. He's not a holding midfielder. He's arriving at the box, finishing stuff, and he's full of energy. That's it. Nothing else. He's not a technical player. For me, I said it. I said, Chelsea, don't add a player. It's either buy a top player or don't buy anybody. Keep certain players to be a squad player.
Yeah, but that is not an option. Don't buy anybody. It wasn't an option.
Getting him on loan. I didn't mind getting him on loan because
listen. We got him on loan. He's on 10 over 10 million a season. Okay, for me, I would rather keep Ampadu as a squad player, sit on the bench like Saud is doing now, than pay somebody 5 million on loan fee and 10 million a season.
Yeah.
Because I knew this will happen. I said it.
Yeah, but I don't think you really. I mean, listen, I will trust you.
Guys,
on
I'm
your word,
going to bring in some of the guys from the chat. So just bear with us. Carry on. Sorry.
The thing is, I know Saul was used to be some sort of good player, and 4 years or 2 years ago, the fact that my logic was simple. He hasn't played in EPL, and he can manage to enter to start for Atletico in the last 2 years. For that reason, I think he should come. Yeah, of course, we need a player, but he has to be easy in. Like that was my only problem with him. But the fact that we bought him, I'm okay with it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know anybody can see the future saying Saul is Dele Alli.
I was actually.
I didn't rate him, to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest here because I watch him even at Atletico. That's what he was good at. As soon as they signed João Felix, they started playing at wing back, at this left wing back, because he is not a technical player. Okay, that's what people don't understand. He's not. He's a good player that run into a box and score goals.
I think he's a technical player, but I don't think he's showing the best thing.
He play like Dele Alli. Look at Dele Alli struggling now. You know what? I'm telling you, he's not. He's one trick pony.
No, he played for Spain.
Yeah, but he hasn't played for Spain for over 2 years.
Yeah,
same like Dele Alli.
I didn't mind having him, but that was my only concern is the fact that he wasn't playing regularly in the Atletico Madrid side. But what I thought he'll bring us is a few goals and from midfield and these long shots and things like that. So if obviously who was it? You said he needs a bit of time. Was it you, Kazim, or was it you, Boogeyman? He said he needs a bit of time.
I was a fan of Saul Miguel. I think he's technically good. He needs a bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah,
we were all fan of Dele Alli too, isn't it? 4 years ago, he was wonderful, scoring against Chelsea, back-flicking, volleying. Yeah. I'm telling you, Saul is Dele Alli exactly same career path, same everything, similar age, similar style of play.
Should have told us before that, mate.
No, but with Dele Alli, he just thought he had arrived, didn't he? He was more interested in sex tapes with women than he was playing football. So. So sometimes you've got that talent. He's still got, but he just didn't have that drive to go further. So with Saul, I think it's slightly different because he had an injury, didn't he? And he hasn't recovered fully.
They figure him out. They know that if you stop his run, that's it. Even in Spain, that's what they did. That's why Simeone. He was one of Simeone's favorite players. I'm telling you this. Because he was arriving at the box.
It was a captain, isn't it? It was a captain.
Yeah. He was playing like Dele Alli, to be honest with you. Arriving at the box late, doing wonderful stuff. But as soon as they suss him out, he couldn't do anything else. That's why he lost his place. It's nothing to do with anything, to be honest with you. That's how he lost his place. Saul Miguel, I'm telling you, it's not coming good. Chelsea,
to be honest, I don't think you have all the information because when he was being transferred here, that's my daughter coughing. When he was transferred here, like all the panelists, all those journalists talking about the fact that he was injured here, he has some surgeries and all those things that happen. And
he had a bad
then,
injury, didn't he? He
he hasn't
was
come
it an
to come,
internal injury? He ruptured
something like that. So, and then I'm like, so it wasn't the fact that Dele Alli didn't have any injury.
He did. He had muscular, the Michael Owen hamstrings.
Oh.
Okay, Dele Alli had them for I think the whole. The 3 years ago he had. I think he missed half of the season because of that constant hamstring. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. As soon as they lose that, they cannot do anything else. They're similar player.
I was happy with the transfer window. I was one of the people who was happy with it, but I didn't anticipate how bad Saul would be when he got involved in the team. So I thought it would be enough cover. I know it wasn't perfect, but I think I still think that the squad we have is good enough to challenge for the title.
Yeah,
so that's why I was happy with it.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. That's why I was happy, even though we needed more signings, and I know obviously the squad needs a lot of improvements, and we could have done a lot more. But I still think that we can do things with this squad.
Of course we can, but the thing is, Mo I think a couple of streams ago, he asked a very smart question, and I think now I'm starting to realize what he meant. He said, why last year when we didn't have a proper striker the way we have now, we were creating more chances, and now when we have an actual striker, we're struggling with creating enough chances. Lukaku hasn't been getting enough balls.
That's because of the system that we play. Because as I mentioned it before, we were a bit more fluid when we play with a false nine. Defenders don't know how to pick up, and we make different runs. Because with Lukaku now, they love playing against him because he stays in between the two centre backs. So the two centre backs can then and that takes away some of that creativity. So it's all about finding that balance now that we've got Lukaku in the side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
One second, Boogeyman. 1 second. Aaron, I've sent the link in the chat. I don't know why you're not clicking on it, but Kasim, can you respond to this question? It was directly to you. You're on mute, Kasim.
Sorry, can you read the question? I cannot see.
Yeah, it says at the Blue Lounge. Can you read my message to Kasim? No Ziyech, no Havertz were the culprits for that loss. It was Tuchel's mistake. I don't know why he plays Ziyech on the left, and honestly, suicidal decision. And Ziyech was on the left and Havertz was on the right, and it should have been the other way around. I made that comment also during that game. So, what's your reaction to that, Kasim?
Look, I tell you what more. My reaction is, look, regards Juventus, it was a bad day in office, mate. I don't know how to answer this one. It's not like me. It's took me by surprise though more. I thought Ziyech is still
okay. Kasim, just address this for me. Was the fact that Ziyech playing on the left and Havertz playing on the right a mistake or not? By Tuchel?
No.
Because that's what he's alluding to. He's saying that was a suicidal decision. No?
No, more. I think, to be fair, not just Ziyech. Yes, I'm coming to it now. I think Ziyech and Havertz, there are last 3-4 games, they've been poor, regardless to play right, left, or left, right. Do you get what I'm saying? I think it could be the system not suiting both of them.
Okay, listen.
That's why they're not performing.
Let's say it as it is. One of the issues that we had in the game yesterday, we weren't taking enough shots. We weren't creating enough chances. Now, we all know, whether it's good or bad, but Hakim Ziyech does not have a right foot. The man is one-footed. He's left-footed only. Putting him on that left-hand side, you're taking away one tool from his toolbox. That is the shooting. Because all he can now do is create and cross.
Yeah, that's right.
He likes to play on the right hand side because he's
right,
able
so
to
he
cut
can cut in
and shoot.
Yes.
By putting him in that position, you've eliminated that tool from his toolbox. Okay. Now, was it a punishment for the fact that he took a lot of ridiculous shots in the last game that he started? Was that a punishment that I'm going to put you on this side so you can't take no shots?
No.
Explain to me why Havertz was on the left and why Havertz was on the right and Ziyech
Well,
on the left.
I tell you what, Mo, when you explained it now, you're making a great point. About obviously he's left-footed. He likes to cut in his left foot and shoot. I don't think he's punishing because he was taking, the game before or before that, he was taking a lot of shots. I think he's just the managers on the day or on the night. He saw it. He said, "Man, you do for me the left-hand side. Man, you do for me the right-hand side."
So was on the day.
From the Tuchel perspective, yes. From Tuchel, yes. From Tuchel, yes.
Maybe he wanted that natural width to get crosses into Lukaku.
Yes, that's another point
That's
as well.
the other thing
He
I'm
wanted
thinking.
this over to Lukaku as well. But I think it's a mistake because the like of Ziyech should be in the right-hand side so he can cut in.
And that can be said for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi should play on that left-hand side so he can cut in and shoot. Because when he does that, it's very dangerous. Go on, Julius, let me hear it.
I think when I look at what Tuchel did, that was a bit strange, and he didn't have the best lineup yesterday. But when I look at the Juve team, I watch Juve quite a lot. Danilo on that side is not a great defender, and I think what Tuchel had in mind is that if putting Ziyech on that left-hand side, he will have a lot more room to cut in basically, or to even put some crosses past Danilo, because he's not really good in marking or defending one-on-one.
He's not a good defender, no.
Especially with Ziyech, very technical player. He could cut in, put these crosses or passes even across to the far post or to the near post. But it didn't work out because the way Juve was set up yesterday, basically
5 defenders.
Covering it's very tight. From a stylistic point of view, I could see why Tuchel tried or attempted that. He took a risk. He acknowledged it may have been a mistake, but it made sense from a logical perspective before the game. But what I blame Tuchel on, one thing, this was obvious. Allegri was gonna set up the way he did last night. If I was managing this game, I would have played the same way Allegri would have played, and let me see how he would deal with it. I
matched him and I played for the draw. I agree, Julius. I agree.
I would have forced Juve to open up a little bit and to kind of try to attack us, and we would have hit them in counters, and we would have probably carved them open because we have better players overall, faster players as well.
Yeah, that's a good point because they were playing away, so the omen is on the impetus, is on the home side to try and come out.
Yeah.
To be fair, Max, we didn't need to win that game.
I agree with that. I agree, Julian. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know why you took
Yeah,
so
point would have been
he
good
made
enough.
a few mistakes, Tuchel in the way, and this is not first time. And I know he's a top manager. It's not for me to say, but he is. He can see he gone for it, and he didn't need to. I said it yesterday. I said we're gonna win 2-1, but I said I would take the draw. Draw is still good result.
But the thing is,
I said 3-0 because I look at Tuchel as a mad genius. I thought he will just mix things up. Juventus will get confused, but I didn't anticipate Juve will play 5 at the back. I thought they will play there 4-4-2 or 4-3-3. As soon as I saw 5 at the back,
they were 4-4-2, mate. They were 4-4-2.
No, all the game. That's what people think. They outsmart what people were. They were 3 at the back, and they attack with their Cuadrado as a wing back and Sandro as a wing back. As soon as I saw the lineup, that's when I started thinking, you know what? No, I started getting confused. But that's how this, and 3 in the middle.
The thing is, Mo, the thing is, Tuchel, what he did last night, I think, and that's why I kind of defended him last night in a way that I think the players let him down. Tuchel, when he looks at that Chelsea squad, he has so much faith. He in his head, what was going on in his head? He's like, we are the European champions. We are the superior team. We're gonna go at them. We're going to press them. We're going to put them in their box. We're not going to allow them to even go past half the pitch. But the players let him down. There was a lack of insurgency. Tuchel played this game and thinking that we have the team, we have the ability to break this Juve no matter what they do, and we're gonna put a couple of goals past them. He took a risk. That's why I think the players let him down. And
All right, Julius, hold on, Julius. Great point. But did Tuchel respond to that in a negative way, in a poor way? Because he brought in, and this is a matter of opinion. I'm not saying negative or positive. I'm just saying, looking at it from a neutral point, if I can be neutral, he brought in, I know, Kasim, I'm trying. He brought in Trevor Chalobah to play in midfield ahead of Saul. He brought in Ross Barkley to play in attack ahead of Timo Werner. All right? The other substitutions, like for like, pretty much. But those two, there's better players on that bench that could have taken those positions. Was he reactionary? Was he saying you play? Hold on. Let me finish. Was he saying you guys, this is your opportunity? Go take it because my regular lot, my $1 million lot, are not performing. Was he reactionary? And this question I'm putting to you. I put it to the rest of the panel earlier, and I said this because I want to give it out in the open. What's your opinion on this?
I don't think so.
No. This is to Julius. I'll get Max to come in after Julius's response.
Yeah, like that's a very valid question, Mo. It's kind of tough to answer. I think when I look at Trevor Chalobah in the midfield, I think because Tuchel realized, because of how we underperformed, and because he had, I think, a lot of expectations from the lineup that he started with, putting Chalobah in midfield would probably offer a defensive stability, maybe something that he in his head maybe thinking that Chalobah could do what Kante can do, or half of or quarter what Kante could do in that midfield. It's all weird, man. And I think the reason why we had Barkley and we had Chalobah and all these weird substitutions that nobody would have expected, specifically Barkley, to be honest, is because he panicked. I think he got to a point where he did not believe that Timo Werner would be able to be effective against such a low block and very kind of I'm not sure what the word here, but you know what I mean, like low block, deep, playing deep, and then thinking that putting Barkley
we saw a lot. We saw Thiago Silva being spun around. We saw Christensen being spun around, and we saw Kovačić being spun around. And I think Chalobah came in to show that part of it up. And
but he was fresh also, though.
He was fresh. No. See, I don't have a problem with this. I'm just saying, did Tuchel do it as a reaction because he wasn't happy, or did he do it for tactical reasons?
Listen.
Boogeyman, I want to hear from Max, and then I'll come to you, Boogeyman. Go on, Max.
Listen, I don't think it was. I thought that was a good tactical move, because when he made those substitutions, we suddenly had more energy and we created more. When you think, we created our two best chances with that lineup, and as I said before, had we scored one of those two chances, someone we would be saying manager genius, tactical genius by him.
I agree.
Because Chalobah came in, he was moving the ball quicker, as was Ross Barkley and Loftus-Cheek, and we were creating. We started to pin them back a bit, and again it was stout defending, last-ditch defending at the end as well. They realised that by bringing on, remember they brought on Chiellini, and that's because we were pinning them back in their own box. So they said, you know what, we need defensive reinforcement, or Chelsea are going to score a goal. So it wasn't. The tactics I thought were great.
All right.
Max, you're right.
Hold on, Mo. I will get Boogeyman. I've also got somebody waiting to come in from the chat. It's Erin, so I'm going to give Erin a chance after Boogeyman's comment. Go on, Boogeyman.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I don't think Tuchel actually panic. The thing is, if you look on the bench, would you want, like everybody here, would you want to put Werner? Because I think Julius answered his own question. Because do you want to put Werner in the game where the team is pretty much starting at the back? What is Werner cannot even control the ball. We need people that can control it and actually shoot. And if you look at that bench, Barkley is the only one that can do that at that time. So it's not the fact that Barkley is better than Werner, but the situation, the way it looks like, I think Tuchel has actually a fresh mind and a cool head to put Barkley there. And me, I've advocated for Barkley for a long time. People just laugh at me, but I just think this season may be the season. Tuchel need to rotate because a lot of people keep saying we have a chance to win the league this season, but I think Tuchel lack the rotation part. He did it last season a little bit for 6 months, and Tuchel most rotation last season was the front three. We don't know exactly which front three is going to start. Lukaku came in now, just complicated everything. We know Lukaku will start. Then he doesn't know what to do, which 210 he has to associate with. If you look at the bench, he doesn't know which one to put. So it makes everything complicated. So at the end of the day, he decided to keep the same midfield. The midfield are getting injured. And then we are in this situation. For me, Tuchel need to rethink the whole front three thing. Sometimes Lukaku has to sit. Just keep shuffling it until you find a good formula. But as long as Lukaku is there, we just have a difficulty creating. We have a difficulty dominating. I mean, yesterday we dominated the game, but it's because Juventus is like, yo, guys, have the ball. We don't mind it. That's why we have a 74%, which is just abnormal. So for me, Tuchel has to have some sort of gut and just shuffle the front three all the time, shuffling them like he did the last season.
Boogeyman, having so much position and not doing anything with it.
It's not domination.
Was the worst thing I've ever seen. You know, if we didn't have possession, if it was like a basketball game where we had it, they had it, I can understand that, but it wasn't that. We dominated that game.
But don't you think
dominated the possession? That's why
we got Barkley in.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah. Listen,
yeah,
hold on. Erin, I've lost you from the back room. If you want to come back in, I'm happy to give you a couple of minutes, but be quick about it because we are going to conclude the stream within the next 15 minutes. I want to give Mohammed a chance because I cut him off and then we'll go to Eric. Mo, let me hear it. What you got to say?
Yeah, Max, you were right. When he did the substitution, we have more energy. If you check the whole game from open play, all three chances we created I'm not talking about the corner from Chilwell. I'm talking about the open play. Barkley created one chance, and Cho created two chances. One to Havertz, he missed the first header, and Lukaku's first header. Those were the only three chances we created, and it happened after the substitution. So for me, we can blame. I don't blame Tuchel because Tuchel is a mad genius. He's a chemist. He's trying different things. I believe the players lack energy. So I don't understand. Maybe they because of the lack of rotation in the squad or whatever Boogie was talking about. But I just feel like we just need energy. Some of these games, if you run more than your opponent, you equally have the same talent. You beat them. So I believe that's it. If you guys have equal talent, but they work harder than you, they will beat you. So for me, sometimes it's just that. It's either they lack energy or something. But even against City, it's the same thing. Energy.
But yesterday, it's not. We run more than them.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, we run more than them. But if you check their win back, run more than our win backs, and also their forward players run more than our forward players. So sometimes it's not the midfielders or whatever. Those are the most important part of the pitch. Okay, if Chiesa is coming to the center circle line, getting the ball, running at us like a crazy person, nobody's going with him when he's going for the ball instead of stopping the ball from coming to him. That's on us. Okay, because Juventus is stopping us from doing it, but we didn't stop them from playing. We let them play to their strength. I don't blame Tuchel for that because he was yelling whole match. He was yelling at the sideline, screaming, telling them, "Oh, these players are good players.
I
They're good players."
Can I just be honest? I really
Can
don't
I
care
just
about
say
people
something,
yelling.
guys?
No. Hold on. Eric.
Sorry.
Yeah, just to respond to what you were saying. I don't think. Actually, I'll respond to what Kasim said earlier on. I don't think we dominated the game. And I think Boogeyman was saying the same thing. I don't think we dominated the game because possession. We dominated possession, and that's the problem. You know, we didn't do enough with possession. But if you dominate the game, then the possession you have will show that you've dominated the match. You know, all we had was possession, and we didn't do enough with the possession we had. So that's why it's almost not even worth talking about the fact that we had all that possession. It makes it even worse the way we lost. And you know the players.
That's why I said frustrating.
Yeah. The players just it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Whatever they were trying to do, it didn't work out. I don't think Juventus worked harder than us, but we just didn't do what we had to do to win the game. You know, they had a game plan. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they beat us.
And should we be worried?
Boogeyman and Kasim. Go on, Boogeyman.
Someone explain me what's the difference between domination and possession.
I just told you.
No, you didn't say anything. You just say
no, I did.
Be talking about it, but you just say
possession.
He said we didn't create anything. That's what he said.
If you don't do anything with the possession you have, I can't say you dominated the game.
The game was dominated by Juventus. The game was dominated by Juventus.
Juve.
We had possession. They
You can dominate a game out of possession as well. Yes. And that's by letting the opponents do what you want them to do, and that's a different form of domination. You know, we've had one shot in 180 minutes of football, so that's what we got. I want to clarify.
Well. I said we dominated possession. We dominated possession. The game was dominated by Juventus because when they had
Wikipedia, I don't trust any of you here. Okay, keep going.
when we had the ball, okay, we didn't do nothing with it.
I understand that part.
I agree with Eric. It would have been better for us not to have the ball. At least
it would be better. I don't mind all those.
Boogeyman, but listen, we can have 70% possession passing it around our back line. So that doesn't mean that we're doing anything. We didn't do anything with the possession. So just because we had 70% possession, that's nothing.
Yeah, but
for the FIFA Ultimate Team players, FIFA Ultimate Team players. Listen, Boogeyman. FIFA, the game. All right. One aspect of it, which
FIFA, the game that you play with your hand.
PlayStation game. A lot of us were frustrated because it had a glitch in it that we thought wasn't realistic. Well, actually, it turns out to be realistic because what you can do in FIFA is you can score one goal and pass the ball around the back in your defense, and the opposition, they can't get the ball because all you got to do is keep on passing it. All right, and then you can win the game by just scoring one goal and keeping the ball, and that is becoming real. It's becoming a reality now in actual football. Okay. I want to bring in Kasim, and then I'll go to Max because I think Max.
No, I just want to make a small point more. What I realized from last two games we played, Man City and Juventus, as a Chelsea European champion, and when Man City beat us. When the game finished, they went to their fans and they were celebrating like not tomorrow, beating the European champions. And when I noticed last night in the game, after every challenge and tackle Juventus, they were punching the air on with that. Because what they've been told is, you play in the European champion, you've got to be up for the occasion. And that's why I'm trying to say, from now to the end of the season now, Chelsea gonna have it against any team. Any team, every manager was telling his team, look, you're playing against your British champion, you've got to be up against it. You've got to give it everything.
Why is it?
Even Zenit.
Why is it?
Yeah. Even Zenit, I agree.
Why is it hard? Why is it harder to protect, to defend, to retain a title? Because of that. Because every team you're playing against is going to be coming at you because they want to beat you. All right. While as last season, a lot of the games we played, we were the underdogs. This season, we don't have that title, which makes it harder for us. Max, come on in.
The missing piece, Lukaku, and what do we get?
Lukaku. Look, hang everything on Lukaku. Hang everything on Lukaku. Go on, Max.
I agree.
I'm good.
I agree in the way. I agree, but
I'm good. I made my point. I was just going to say
listen.
one shot in 180 minutes. That's all.
One shot in 2 matches.
It's a worry. It's a worry.
Yeah.
No, I want to say something.
Go on, Julius. Go on.
When I watched the replay of the Juve game, and that performance reminded me of when we were under Sarri. Sarri for me was one of the worst managers we had. I used to hate the football we played at the time. It was so frustrating, so boring, sideways, possession, left, right, center with no creativity. And basically yesterday was copy-paste of what we used to do under Sarri. And it is a little bit troubling that the players, knowing they are the champions, everyone is looking forward to beat them. We are the team to beat. They are not in the right mindset to basically show why they are the champions. We are not playing like against City. We played like a newly promoted team, like a championship team. Yesterday against Juve, it was so obvious what they're gonna do, and you know what? It was one of the easiest teams Juve have ever played, because Juve has been struggling, and they looked so comfortable last night. So that's why I'm defending Tuchel, and I'm gonna stand by him, saying I think the players let him down. I think he's got so much faith in them and so much expectations, and I think they need to respect themselves. They need to have more confidence. We don't seem to be that confident when we're playing recently.
Part of it as well, Julius, was on him.
Wait, Kasim, wait. Bismillah, relax, take a breath. Listen, lads, we are going to conclude the stream very, very shortly. We got a preview tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be doing our Southampton preview. Games come thick and fast on this channel. We got a match against Southampton on Saturday. We're going to be doing the preview tomorrow. It'll be the regular time of 8 p.m. Regular time of 8 p.m. We'll be discussing that match and how important it is to turn things around in that match. We'll be talking about the selection, the players, and whatnot. But before we do that, before we get into the preview tomorrow, we're going to conclude the stream by giving everyone on the panel 2 minutes to give me their positive take from the defeat to Juventus. Because listen, we lost.
Why does that have to be positive?
No, it has to be positive, because I know what you're like, mate. So it's got to be positive.
Harry Kane scored a hat-trick today, by the way.
That's a negative. That's a negative, Max. We're talking about positives. I need to hear from everyone a positive take that we can take from the last match and moving forward. I know it's going to be difficult because we lost, but there is positives in that game. So I'm going to start with Bobby. We're going to work our way around, and then we're going to conclude the stream. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, you are making this hard for me to get to 8,000, because I'm really close. And I've been close for a couple of days, but you guys are making this hard. We are 36 subscribers away from 8,000. So if you haven't subscribed yet, click that subscription button. Bobby, let me hear it. Your positive take on the match against Juventus moving forwards.
I don't have a problem with the positive take at all.
Brilliant.
We have a fan base that complain when we win, complain when we draw, and throw tantrums when we lose. This is all part of a process. Life has never been about picking daisies in a field. Things will happen. Things will go wrong. I don't know why at Chelsea we expect our managers to be magicians. We watch other successful clubs and their managers go through periods of problems, and the fan base is very much behind them. Allegri has not had a good season up until the Chelsea game. Now all of a sudden he's this sort of demigod. He got it right that night. Fantastic. Well done. We've had a couple of dodgy games. I think we'll learn from it. I think sometimes you learn more from adversity than when things are smooth sailing. I still have a lot of faith in Tuchel. It's not the end of the world. We've got problems with players. I think it's fitness issues and definitely injury issues. We will get through this. I hope against Southampton he makes the changes he made towards the end of the game against Juve. I think we need to do it because we've got some tired players. The mistake we made was perhaps not reinforcing in the areas we really needed to, especially in the midfield. But it is what it is. You know, these players that won the European Cup, it's the same players and some. We just have to trust the manager and trust, you know, what he will do to get us out of this situation. And I'm sure he will do it.
Fantastic. And I agree. Tuchel will do it. Tuchel will turn it around. And I think, you know, sometimes you need a little bit of a wake-up call, a little bit of a clip around the ear, and I think that's what this is. Cheers, Bobby. Appreciate you, mate, and I'll see you tomorrow for the preview against Southampton, mate.
Okay, bless you guys. Have a good night.
Good night, Bobby.
Good night,
See you
brother.
later.
Good night. Take care, brother. Take care. All right, Eric Blue. Let me hear it. Positivity, Eric. Positivity.
Yes, positivity. Okay. The first positive is we didn't play as bad as we did against Man City. The second positive is at least we had a shot on target. The third positive is
You're trolling now.
That's half a positive. That's not full positivity.
Just trolling, man.
I love that one, Eric.
Yeah. One is better than zero. So yeah, the third positive is Tuchel. We have Tuchel, and he is fully capable of helping us get out of this slump or lack of form, whatever you want to call it. We have Tuchel. He'll get us out of it. I think he's a genius personally, and I think he'll find a way, and we'll start playing well, and hopefully we turn it around before November, December, because that's you can't afford to be in bad form then. So I think we'll turn it around. Hopefully we'll go on a run, start going on a winning streak, and then we will win a few trophies this season. That's what I think.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Eric Blue, always a pleasure to have you on. And I'm glad that we had the camera active for the earlier part of the stream.
Yeah.
I hope we'll see more of that.
You looked handsome, man. Come with the camera.
Aye, listen.
Handsome, man.
He has a voice. He has a voice of an old man, but he looked like a really young man.
Nah, man, his voice is good. His voice is good. He's got one of them. Hey, Max, you're on mute.
Sorry, I said he wants people to concentrate on the voice. That's why.
On the voice.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Max got it. That's it.
What's the word? Undercover lover. That tune, Undercover Lover. Yeah, we'll keep that way. Eric, old school boys know that. Eric,
as long as you don't sing any R. Kelly songs, eh?
I believe. All right, Eric Blue. Eric Blue, mate. Take care of yourself, mate. I will see you tomorrow in the preview.
Yeah, see you guys. Bye.
Have a good night, Eric. Bye-bye. All right, Erin, I'm not going to bring you on because we're concluding the stream. So if you got something to add, make sure you come on tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. UK time. I'll give you a chance to give us your thoughts. But we're concluding the stream, so I can't really put you on. Let's go with Kasim. Kasim, my man.
Yeah.
Your positivity. Let me hear it.
I am positive, to be fair, mate. As I said, I'm glad that Toulouse has come a bit earlier, before October. I think big game on Saturday. We need to win that game. I don't care about the result. 1-0, 2-1, 2-0. I'll be happy with that. 3 points. And I think Chelsea needs, for any doubters and stuff, a good run of 5-6 games in a row. And that, that take us to end of October, beginning of November. And that's why we see the real, challenges. Some teams will keep up, some team will drop. And I think Chelsea hopefully will go on that run. Because next 2 games in the Champions League, guys, will go that small team. So there's 6 points already. So in the back. So that will take us, I've got a feeling we're gonna beat the Juventus home as well. So we've got, as I said, we've got Southampton. We've got after that, we've got Norwich. We've got Newcastle and Burnley, and Brentford away. So if we win these 5 games in the row, we're gonna be all right. I think we're gonna be. I'm very optimistic.
We've got
a
good schedule coming up. We've got a good schedule.
5 games in the row. I think the 6 games we'll play Leicester away, number 6. But the next 5 games is a small team. Tuchel need to find a way to beat that low block, and I'm sure it's more than capable to do that. And we need these 5 points, and we'll be all right. I'm very optimistic.
Fantastic, Hasim. Fantastic, and I hope.
And thanks for having me, Mogo. And guys, have a good night.
Tomorrow you're back to work, so I hope everything works out good for you tomorrow.
Oh. Thank you very much, you guys, and have a good night. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Take care. Take care.
Good night, Kasim. Good night. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm tempted to leave Boogeyman to the end because.
Yeah, I'm positive. I'm really positive. I'm buzzing positivity.
You're oozing positivity. So I'm tempted to leave you to the end. So let's go, MDT Mohammed. Give me your final thoughts, mate. The positivity. I want to hear it.
So to be honest, I'm very, very optimistic. I'm not worried about Tuchel at all, and I believe that he will sort it out. This Juventus game, if we play it again, we're not gonna lose. So I'm not. That doesn't worry me because I believe that Juventus, they will struggle against Zenit. They will struggle against Zenit because there's no way they will play like that because they were gonna have to go after Zenit. So that doesn't worry me. And also with Chelsea and Tuchel, I'm not worried. With the players, I know some of them are playing below their standard, which is a little bit disappointing, but they will come good. I just believe that. Some of them now, because if you look at Tuchel history, he can give you a chance a lot. But even at Borussia Dortmund, towards that final season, I think Pulisic lost his place. Okay, he can count on you. He can give you like a lot of time, whatever, but he's not that patient. And I believe after this international break, some of these players, if they don't pull their finger out, that's the end of their Chelsea. That's the end of their Chelsea adventure with Tuchel. They will be coming from the bench. And the other thing is, I think players like we didn't expect they will have a chance. I know Boogie will love this, like Ross Barkley. I believe they're back in the fold now. He's not gonna hesitate to put them in. And the other thing is, this Southampton game, I'm pretty confident. If we play like Chelsea, we will beat them. We'll beat them. And also, I'm looking forward to the League Cup. Is it the 5th round against Southampton? And there are few players. If those players are on the bench and they come on and they perform, it will be even more competition in that midfield for these current players. So all in all, I'm not worried at all. I believe we'll win the league. Maybe I'm crazy. I hope I'm not, but I believe that. Because I've seen Chelsea goes through worse than this. I remember when the first time we qualified for the Champions League. You remember what happened when Vialli was sacked? Okay, so I've seen worse.
Yeah. Mohammed, you make some very, very good points there, and we're going to be addressing those in tomorrow's preview specifically. But I want to add something to what you've said. I think Tuchel started off his reign with Chelsea being very flexible in his selection because he wanted to get to know the players, and he picked players in various positions. He brought players that were kicked out by Lampard, like Alonso, etc. And he was very diverse in his selection. I believe that this season he has been restricted to a core group in his selection, and I think these last two results, are gonna unleash his options. He's going to be picking more. He's going to be looking at more players rather than it being so narrow in his selection process. And I'm going to be addressing that specifically in tomorrow's preview. Mohammed, thank you very much for your input. Always a pleasure to have you on. Have a good night, my brother.
Thank you, guys. Everybody, have a good night.
Good night. Good night. I'm going to go Max Burton. I'm going to leave Julius and Boogeyman, my two most positive panelists, to the end. So we'll go Max Burton. Max Burton,
I'm not liking your comment, man. I'm not liking it.
I'm loving it.
Right. I don't know if I can bring this up. Positive. You know what? Where is it? I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know if it's on the screen. If not,
I'll zoom in. Hold on. I can't zoom in. Why can't I zoom in? Here we go. Chelsea team news: Mason Mount and Reece James have a good chance of facing Southampton. Brilliant.
So that's a good reason to be positive from the off. And Mason Mount, he used to be he's a Portsmouth supporter, and he always tries to win against Southampton. So it means a lot this game to him. So if we can get him back into the fold and Reece James, then that energy that we've been lacking can come back into it. So this is just a blip. So I'm not getting, because I'm not getting reactionary about it, because at the end of the day, it's one league match against Man City, who played at their maximum against us the other day, because they had a point to prove. And, we're still in the Champions League. And I still think we'll qualify. I still think we'll top the group. So I just feel that we just need to relax a bit. And like Mohammed said before, back in the days, if everyone would be suicidal. Boogeyman, you'd be dead by now. I'm telling you that already. Because if you were supporting Chelsea back when I was supporting them, you wouldn't have any risk left, put it that way. Because I was doing a preview. I've just finished making a preview video with my son Zane, and we were talking. I always like to do players who used to play for both clubs, and every one of you must have heard of Peter Osgood, even you, Boogeyman, a big hero back in the day. He played for both clubs, and when he came back to Chelsea, that was one of the first matches I remember when I was a boy. We played against Middlesbrough, and he scored in that game, but we lost the game 7-2. Against Middlesbrough. Yeah? So we've come a long way as a club, okay? We're winning trophies year in, year out. So we got to just be happy that we're living in an era where Chelsea are a successful team. So let's just take that on board and just remember. We can't win it all, but we are going to be there or thereabouts this season.
Yep, I agree. Optimism. Max Burton, always a pleasure to have you on the stream. Tomorrow's preview is going to be big, because I think it's going to be all over the place in regards to the team selection. So I hope to see you on if you've got a chance.
All right then, cheers guys.
All right, take care. Good night.
Yeah, Max. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Cheers. Bye.
Julius. What are you saying, Julius?
Positivity
has to be.
I'm really struggling to think of anything positive other than look, I've told you before offline, I think, Mo, we don't have a good record against Italian teams. When we faced Inter, we lost, even though when we had Ancelotti, we were absolutely tearing everyone apart, and we ended up losing to Inter Milan. They were the ones who ended up winning the treble, actually. We've played Juve back in the days. We've lost, got destroyed away. We played Roma, same thing. I think Dzeko teared us apart last time we played Roma. And now again, we go to Juve and we lose again. There are things in life, and it's very weird sometimes to say these things, but there are superpowers in these situations that no matter what you do, you're not gonna win. it's just one of those things that when we play a Serie A team, no matter how crap they are, we will struggle. I was not surprised that we lost this game. I cannot explain why. I really cannot explain reasons on why we lost the game. But if I want to say something positive is we've had the hardest fixtures among, I think, everyone in the Premier League and in Europe. We've played one of the toughest games already, playing City and Liverpool. If I'm going to look at the season from a macro perspective, we are 1 point behind first place after having such tough fixtures. We are still in a very comfortable position in the group stage in Champions League. It's still very early. We have a very, very good managers. I think he is the current best manager in the world. I have no doubt that he has the capacity and the capability to turn things around. Aside from that, my concerns are, can we turn this around? If we win against Southampton, that doesn't mean anything to me. I want to look at the season on for a prolonged period of time.
Depends on the performance, though, Julius. It depends on the performance. What did you say? If we beat Southampton, the performance is going to matter.
Yeah, performance is going to matter, of course. Obviously, if we lose, we could be in a very basically troubly situation. But I will watch us how we're gonna play in the next few games, because one game against Southampton, I'm not gonna conclude much about it. Like, I'm not gonna draw conclusions. Oh, we bounce back, we're good to go. No, because I always look forward to beat big teams like Juve, like City. Beating Southampton is a must. It's expected. So I have one more thing, a message to the Chelsea community before I go. Behave yourselves, first of all. I've seen a lot of people calling for Tuchel's head, Tuchel out, stuff like that. It's disgusting. Those are the exact same people who are worshipping Marina Granovkaia, and they will probably end up turning on Tuchel if, God forbids, we end up having a disaster of a season in the next few weeks. But we have to back our manager. I do not want to see a Conte scenario 2.0 where everyone was loving Conte and what a manager, we are so lucky to have him. And then when things went downhill, we had a huge chunk of our fan base betraying him, basically, and turning their back on him and blaming him of why we went bad. So these people need to use their brains. They need to not get affected by the media. The media hates Chelsea. Don't contribute into adding fuel to the fire. Now the media is going to start creating stories. Oh, is there something bad going on behind the scene at Chelsea? Is Tuchel losing the dressing room? Etc. Let's not contribute into that. Let's back our team and our manager, and let's, as Max said, enjoy this moment. We are lucky. We are not only lucky to have Abramovic as an owner. We are privileged to have Abramovic as a manager, as an owner, and we are so lucky to have Tuchel as our manager. And that's all I have to say.
Fantastic, Julius. Yeah, I think people are jumping the gun, rushing to conclusion, being reactionary, and I like the way you ended your statement by telling people to appreciate what we have. Thank you for coming on, Julius. We'll be back on tomorrow, Julius, so hopefully we'll see you then for the Southampton preview. Have a good night, my man, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks for being here.
No problem. I'll talk to you, Boogeyman, offline.
No problem, man.
All right. Boogeyman.
Yo, Mo, thanks for letting me last.
I know. I want positivity. I want positivity, man.
Yeah, but I'm buzzing positivity here. So, I mean, I have two main points. The first positivity is the fact that you didn't really stream yesterday, and you streamed today. That's a huge positivity because you didn't really get me when I was really
Positive.
my blood was boiling. You know what I mean? That game yesterday was.
Mine
I
was
mean,
as well. Mine was as well.
yeah. So at least today I was a little relaxed about it. And the second positivity for me is even those two defeat, we have them in a row, but they don't really affect any of those tournaments where we lost. EPL, we're still in it, and the Champions League, we are still in it. We just managed to lose against big teams, and at the same time, the defeat they don't really affect us that much. So I mean, listen, as much as I'm frustrated, everybody's saying we always lost against Italian team. That's not something I would like to be saying. We have to manage to break that thing and just start winning against Italian team. But at the end of the day, I think Tuchel has to figure this out, and he will. Like Julius said, let's not just jump and start asking for Tuchel out, because that is the biggest mistake we will make at this time. Right? Because listen, he has a team, and he need to just work with them and get all of them in shape. That's the most important thing, especially Kante, Mount, and James. And I think the guy has the potential to make this team big and make us fans proud of it. So let's just look at Southampton. I think for me it is a must. Sorry for saying that we need to win that game. It is a must. If we don't win Southampton, don't forget they tied against Manchester City. They take 1 point off Manchester City. I think if I remember properly. Yeah, I think they tied. It wasn't at Manchester. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so we should be able to beat them, and we need to beat them. And Tuchel need to find a way to give fresh legs so we can go there and actually beat them. So, other than that, I have no much to say. We lost 2 games, but they were not. They didn't affect our chances in any of those tournaments. So why not, right? Even Bobby.
We're still on track.
Yeah, Bobby and Max are saying we're still in both tournaments. So listen, I will just keep it that positive, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, Boogeyman. It's a fantastic stream when you're on the stream. So thank you for being on the stream. Love your input. And I think the people in the chat also respect your opinion and respect the insight that you give in each one of these streams. So thank you for being on, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow in the preview for the Southampton game.
I'll be here. I'll be for the preview for sure. And thanks for people in the chat supporting me. And I know I'm not that easy, so thanks for supporting.
Nah, you're good. You're good, Boogeyman. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, thanks.
Have a good night, brother. Take
You
care.
too, man. Bye.
Good night. Bye. People, thank you all for being on the stream. Let me just see how many subscribers we collected today. Did we get anywhere near it? All right, we're doing all right. We're grinding towards 8,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it. Appreciate it. Would love to have you on board as part of the Blue Lounge community. Lads, I will be streaming tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK time for the Southampton preview. Hopefully, I'll see you all then. Have a good night, people. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Peace out.
Thank you.